Srimati Prabhati Paridaji. I would like to welcome Honorable MLA of Barchana, the man who here to supervise how the arrangements are going on, how the guests are coming and how they are staying. Thank you, Sri Amar Kumar Naik. Thank you, Madam Prabhati Paridaji, for your kind support. Unless your support, it is not possible to arrange this kind of maverick festival here. I would like to welcome His Excellency Jigme Rinpoche, who knows everything about Odisha, who born in Odisha, who lives in Zirang, where we have the monastery in the name of Guru Padmasambhava. I would like to Director of Tourism, Sri Ambar Kumar Kar, Collector and DM Jajpur, and the most awaited person who helped the government and who conveyed this idea with Tourism Department and with Culture Department, Dr. Wangmo Dixie, Executive Director, and her husband, Dr. Richard Dixie, and two of our representatives of LB Professor Professor Purnachandra Malik and Dr. Subrat Kumar Prushti, the Chandra Malik and Dr. Subrat Kumar Prushti, the connection of Guru Padmasambhava with, they were that much eager, they were that much arrange this kind of program and to arrange this kind of function. And I also like to thank from my heart Sri Prabir Kumar Patnaik, Dr. Anita Sabat, Sri Rahul Ravi Rao, because these people convey how Guru Padmasambhava or Master Rinpoche to Jharsuguda, the birthplace of Guru Padmasambhava, and how he got Mahanirvana in Udayagiri, how Guru Padmasambhava propelled the idea of Tantrayan in eastern part of India or in northeast part of India. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for admitting. Thank you so much for adoring that Guru Padmasambhava was born in Odisha, and the people of Odisha loves to host the guest. The people of Odisha are very cordial to host the guest. I would like to thank the district administration to conduct this kind of arrangement, all the ambulance facility, all the medical facility, all the accommodation facility. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And at last, I would like to tell Guru Padmasambhava and his father, King Indrabhuti. As Guru Padmasambhava was discovered sitting on a lotus. Lotus in Odia or in Sanskrit it is Padma. King Indrabhuti found Guru Padmasambhava sitting on a lotus flower in Dhanakosa lake. Now the Dhanakosa is called Dhanakouda of King Indrabhuti, later named his birthplace village as Padampur. And I would like to request all of you to visit that place also. It is only 8 to 10 hours by road from here. And it is now submerged in the Hirakud Dam. In summer, you can see the temple. The village goddess is also named Padmasini, after the name of Guru Padmasambhava. In summer, when the water level reduces, you can see that temple there that is named after Guru Padmasambhava. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming this time also.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister Sir, for your kind words. नारी अब प्रतीक नहीं है सहनशीलता का, नारी आज पर्याय है नेतृत्व, निर्णय और निर्माण का. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure and pride to invite an icon of leadership, true symbol of empowered governance, who is taking care of 3
spiritual leaders, eminent scholars, delegates, Professor Purnachandra Malik and Dr. Subrat Kumar Prusti, LVD FI Orissa representative, Dr. Frederick Moronval, Sri Prabir Kumar Patnaik, Dr. Anita Sabat, Sri Rahul Ravi Rao, Lama Tenzin Sampel, and the monks and the local representatives of Barchana and Jajpur, distinguished media persons, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense joy and deep sense of humility to welcome you all to Orissa for the second Guru Padmasambhava ceremony. I extend my heartfelt greetings to the revered monks, scholars, practitioners, and devotees who have traveled from across India and the world to be part of these sacred gatherings. Your presence today strengthens the spiritual bridge between Orissa and the global Buddhist community. Orissa is not merely a land of temples and monuments. It is a pilgrim place and the birthplace of Guru Padmasambhava. It is a land where spirituality has always guided development. As we move forward on the path of the Viksit Orissa, we firmly believe that true development is not measured only by physical infrastructure, but by inner harmony, cultural continuity, and inclusive growth. With this vision, Government of Orissa has embarked upon a comprehensive master plan for the holistic development of key Buddhist sites, with special focus on the Diamond Triangle, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri, and Lalitgiri, along with Dhauli and Jirang. This integrated approach combines heritage conservation, spiritual practice, modern infrastructure research, and community participation, ensuring development rooted in values. The Diamond Triangle of Odisha stands as one of the most significant Buddhist landscapes in South Asia. Archaeological discoveries, monasteries, stupas, inscriptions, and sacred relics establish Odisha as a flourishing center of Mahayana and Vajrayana Buddhism for centuries. Deeply connected with Buddhist networks across Asia, this glorious legacy fills up with pride and responsibility. Dhauli, associated with Emperor Ashok's embrace of Dhamma, symbolizes the triumph of compassion over violence. Jirang, home to one of the largest Tibetan settlements in eastern India, represents the living continuity of Buddhist culture, practice, and community life in Odisha today. It is within this sacred geography that we honor Guru Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, whose teaching of wisdom, compassion, and inner transformation continued to guide humanity. This ceremony is not only devotional, it is a reaffirmation of Odisha's history in the spiritual journey of Vajrayan Buddhism across Asia. To keep these sacred spaces spiritually vibrant, the government of Odisha has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Light of Buddha Dharma Foundation International. This partnership will enable continuous chanting, meditation, and regular spiritual ceremonies, ensuring that these sites remain living centers of faith, not just monuments of the past. As part of our Vikasit Odisha vision, we are strengthening pilgrim connectivity and accessibility. We are exploring integration of Odisha's Buddhist circuit with Bodh Gaya, including the feasibility of a direct train service and enhancing air connectivity with Buddhist regions in India and abroad to promote pilgrimage and cultural exchange. At the heart of this development lies the local community. Through our homestay policy, families, especially in Jirang and surrounding regions, are becoming partners in progress, creating sustainable livelihoods while preserving cultural and authenticity. This is the development with dignity. We are also constituting an expert committee on Buddhist region development and promoting research collaborations and scholarships so that Odisha's Buddhist heritage receives the global academic recognition it truly deserves. Friends, in today's troubled world, the teaching of Guru Padmasambhava, rooted the compassion, courage, and wisdom, offer timeless guidance for peace and coexistence. The second Guru Padmasambhava ceremony beautifully integrated spiritual practice, scholarly dialogue, and cultural expression. I commend the organizers, monastic communities, scholars, and volunteers for their dedicated efforts. The government of Odisha remains fully committed to nurturing our spiritual heritage while building a Viksit Odisha that is prosperous, inclusive, and guided by timeless values. I am confident that this ceremony will touch hearts, deepen understanding, and reaffirm Odisha's enduring connection with the global Buddhist community. I must thank the MLA of this constituency, Amar Naik, and their entire team for the coordination and the effort to make this event is a historic one. I especially thanks the self-help groups, Subhadra Shakti stalls, district administration, collector and their total team, SP and his total team for the effort you have made it. I think the monks, the guests and any outsider who will come here, they will understand that we are not organizing, we are not calling outsiders, we are celebrating our Earth's born Padmasambhava's day as our own. With these words, I wish the second Guru Padmasambhava ceremony every success. Jai Jagannath, Om Mani Padme Hum, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for reminding us Odisha's role in strengthening the rooted values of Buddhism in the past, present, and future. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the juncture. We will be closing the session, but before that, I would be humbly requesting once again Ms. Wangmo to represent souvenirs to our chief guest, our Deputy CM and Minister Sir, and also Director Tourism, Honorable MLA, Honorable Collector and District Magistrate Jajpur. Can we have the souvenirs, please? Can we expect a round of applause, the kind of cooperation you have been showing throughout, everyone? Honoring Deputy Chief Minister of Odisha, Madam Prabhati Parida, for your kind presence, guidance and support throughout this program. Second Guru Padmasambhava ceremony. Honorable Minister Sir, for your kind participation and guiding us throughout. Director Tourism, Shri Dipankar Mahapatra Sir. It's a beautiful statue, we can say, which will remind us about the sacred values. Ms. Wangmo Dixie and Mr. Richard Dixie. Director Tourism, Shri Dipankar Mahapatra Sir. Honorable MLA Barchana, Shri Amar Kumar Naik Sir. Lot of appreciation, indeed he deserves the same. This is the second ceremony and the kind of arrangement, the flawless execution. There is a book which will be inaugurated by Deputy CM Ma'am, Honorable Minister Sir, which is based on Buddhism and its values. May I request to bring the book? It's already there. Thank you so much. Thank you. I request everyone to please be seated, and to formally conclude this, I would be requesting His Excellency Jigme Rinpoche to kindly offer the vote of thanks.
It gives me immense joy, profound happiness. What an amazing time we are having here in Udayagiri, in the heart of Odisha, celebrating Guru Padmasambhava's legacy in this second year of Guru Padmasambhava's peace prayer. The world at large is looking at us, and as a fellow Odisha, myself, a Tibetan Orient, personally, it gives me greatest moment to have been here. I was here a month before, and led by the Balwant Singh and the whole team of Jashpur and Katak, and there was nothing here. And in 1 month's time, they made such a wonderful setup, incredible work, dedication and devotion. Everybody felt most welcome. I deeply thank everyone who's involved with this. I had the opportunity to visit Bhutan last month, and from the mouth of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Modi ji, he spoke about Guru Padmasambhava. So it was incredible to see how important now Guru Rinpoche is becoming in the world. And we are very proud that Guru Rinpoche is certainly from Odisha. I understand that there will be a scholarly debate and deliveries on the academical front regarding what role exactly Guru Rinpoche played in Odisha and from Odisha to the world. Also, I'm happy to say that we are the living legacy of Guru Padmasambhava. What you see here in this area as a monument of what the past has been, we kept it alive in our monasteries. So the continuation of Guru Padmasambhava is still going on. Today, on this historic occasion, I would like to bring my heart to thank on behalf of all participants here, Srimati Pravati Parida, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. I know that your presence has put enormous weight to make this program even more important. And you have been the hand and the guidance behind the success of all this, what has been prepared in order to have a very smooth running ceremony. I'd like to thank Srimati Parvati Parida. Thank you so much from the depth of our heart. Also, Shri Surya Banshi Suraj, who is also the Honorable Minister of Odia Language, Literature and Culture. I know that you will have much more things to do, as we will have many academic papers to deliver in the years to come. And you are young and abled, and thank you for being part of this. So in short, I'd like to thank Shri Rabindra Nayan Behra, Shri Amar Kumar Nayak, Shri Balwant Singh Ji, Shri Vijay Ketan Upadhyaya, Shri Dipankar Mohapatra, Shri Ambar Kumar Kar, Shri Yash Pratap Srimal, Professor Purna Chandra Malik, and Dr. Subrat Kumar Prusti for all your effort and wonderful team making this a great success. And of course, this whole ceremony and this whole prayers, this whole gathering of monks who have come from all over the world, this is not just a Vajrayana initiative or Tibetan initiative. This is a world united of Buddhist world, all from Theravada to Mahayana to Vajrayana. It's incredible. Odisha in the past has played exactly this role. Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana all existed here in this ground. Now today we have the same group of people coming from different parts with a united voice, united heart, with one prayer that vibrates over the days here. And this whole thing wouldn't have been possible really without one person. I must mention that, whose dedication, devotion, enthusiasm, and whatnot is really incredible. Dr. Wangmo Dixie, thank you so much. Without her, this wouldn't have become possible. She's been a really great partner to all of us. And in the end, I like to thank Oriya people, our local Oriya people here, who have been really supportive, very kind, very welcoming, and I feel really touched. We are all brother and sisters. No. Thank you so much. अपना ओडिया जाको सब धन्यवाद. हाँ. हमारा ओडिया भाई ने जाको बेसी धन्यवाद दियो ची आज इटी बेसी खुशी है ला हमें इटी आशा करे हमें साथ में मिसी करे अपनो बेसी योगदान देला बेसी धन्यवाद. आओ इटा पूजा चले वो हर साल चले वो इटी रोके वो नहीं. हमें इटा पूजा र धारा इटा पूजा र बात र ओडिशा र विश्व मंच र हमें नहीं कर जाएला. आज सब दुनिया ओडिशा देखो छे इठी सिपाही मते बेसी गर्व अछि कि म हेले गोटे ओडिया पिला. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency. All right, so we would be now gearing up for the international conference, which won't be merely an academic gathering, rather it would be a spiritual homecoming, reconnecting Odisha to its timeless role as a beacon of wisdom, compassion, and enlightenment for the world. I would be humbly requesting our dignitaries to kindly go down the stage. The speakers, I request all the speakers to be seated. Our dignitaries, they can join us below the stage. The speakers are requested to be there on the dais. We would be starting with the international conference. Since we have the gracious presence of various speakers from different parts of our world, I request everyone to please remain seated. We would be starting the official conference session. The speakers have given their kind presence on the dais. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. We have the gracious presence of our speakers. His Excellency Jigme Rinpoche as the moderator, Dr. Frederick Moronwal, Prabir Kumar Patnaik, Dr. Anita Sabat, Lama Tenjin Samphil, Shri Rahul Ravi Rao, I request the organizing team to, if we can remove the extra chairs from the dais. We are thankful to our chief guest, Deputy CM of Odisha, Madam Prabhati Parida. We are thankful to Honorable Minister, Oriya Language, Literature, Culture, Sports, Youth Affairs, Higher Education, Government of Odisha, Shri Surat Suryabansi Sir, Honorable MLA Barachana, Shri Amar Kumar Naik Sir, Director Tourism, Shri Dipankar Mahapatra Sir, Collector, and District Magistrate Jajpur, Ambar Kumar Kaur, and other dignitaries. Console chair. Thank you. Can we have one or two cordless mics on the stage? Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, we will be starting the inaugural session, the international conference. The opening session, to take it forward, I would be requesting ex-director Dr. Richard Dixie to take it forward. Light of Buddha Dharma Foundation International, Mr. Richard Dixie.
Okay, so we're going to start the conference now. We're a little late, so we have 6 speakers who are going to talk about Padmasambhava in Orissa. And I'm very glad to say that His Eminence Jimmy Rinpoche is going to moderate this session, which means I'm going to hand the mic to him with a request that he introduces the speakers and then controls the length of the talk, because we hope each talk will be about 30 minutes. Then he will give a Tibetan translation summary of each talk, just for the Tibetans who are here. So if I may, Rinpoche, I'd like to hand over to you now, and we'll start the conference. Please. Thank you, Thank you, Rinpoche. So you can introduce the first speaker, but he's not even here. This is for Frederick Moranval. Maybe introduce the second. Introduce the second one first. Okay. I'll try and get him, because the second one is just Padmasambhava. He's a very fiery speaker. Oh, yeah. Well, no, you just introduce them. And then, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Richard. So, greetings to everyone, monks, scholars, people from the Himalayas, our Oriya people. Today, we're going to start very soon the conference on Guru Padmasambhava. This is the second year, and there are really great many scholars who have come from different parts of the world to deliver their papers on the life and legacy of Guru Padmasambhava. 아니 넘버서 사말라야 땡이 벽에 나라 도두지 슈기 아니야 망부시 거기 유지 말에 제가 다 달래 내 나란서당 구루 르무시 김말람 팅니바 소백이 급라 쇼라야다 구루 거기 돌링 세야직 나니니 다 탱당보테 수버레 될래야 아니 단다다 팅니바 도시니 초야 임버레 안티 초야 체도 안다 아니 체도 직 칠로카 망부지니야 개왕 다 아니 로주 심주바 된데다 가로지 폐열에 드링다 산이 니만이 그린래야 코난속이다 저자 주시조 그룹부치 단데비기 토네 아니 렉시 망부치도 시니마 소야 임버레 된데 있는 남바상마기 야고세로나 쉐직다 벽에 돈 도두지 슈베이 and so not to take too many times, but I myself had the opportunity to take part in the first Padmasambhava conference on the life and legacy of Guru Padmasambhava in New Delhi, few years back, organized by the IBC, International Buddhist Confederation. So I was one of the speakers there. I presented my paper on Guru Padmasambhava, especially relating to Odisha. Then 3 years before, there was another conference on Guru Padmasambhava where me and my fellow Uriya colleague Prabir ji and Dr. Sanita also, we were all there to present our paper. We didn't come as a team, but our agenda became one eventually. And so I'm delighted today, not as a speaker or one of the speaker. I'm actually the last one to speak of anything, but I'm happy to be a moderator. And even though that word and the meaning I don't understand fully, but I'll do my best as a moderator. So this is a very important significance to the development of Guru Rinpoche's life and legacy. What we are talking is not what Guru Rinpoche's life and legacy was in Tibet and in the Himalaya, because that is well documented and easily available, and most people know from the heart. So we do not need any attempt to re-establish Guru Rinpoche's life and legacy in the Himalayas, in the Tibet. What is important now is Guru Rinpoche in India, the origin, particularly Odisha. So I think our scholars will dwell more on this subject of Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava in India, in the land of Odisha, his birth, his legacy, his lives spent in this region. And also another important point to touch is the cradle of Vajrayana. Odisha being the cradle of Vajrayana, there is enough document, enough evidence, but this is our attempt to put academical, scientific paper forward to lend in credibility. And I'm sure those who are on the dais here, my colleagues and friends, most of them have studied well, have made a good research, and we can all enjoy very much to their paper what they are saying today. And this can become a framework, a background framework for more development to come. And tomorrow will be another day, again focusing on the Tantra of Vajrayana Buddhism in India generally. So there are 2 days that we will walk through in this point. Ani ta peba number la shwe la kanda ani di ganzo pe la ya ani Guru Rinpoche kin jabatile khande changda majangda Himalaya jeju la ya Guru Rinpoche kin jabatile khande changda majang dinso kola dole mare khande dole go yo mare yongda rawa yongda hima maje bigi ganzo peba fe chewa gita kanda chik guru namtada lola yobar shadare chezada tercho danda ja mangbo chik thone ya guru namda jeshin jeba pe mangbo shu yoba indi dikola doling chegwa jumje kora cha yo mare ta yina ya guru mbeche jagala shudu condition shu kawa shu seyaji thoma ku kawa tum seyaji ta dinde tholaya ta diri kasa pe mese donan chembo chik thone donan cheya dia dagas mi samju tha iksha duruk cheya chikbu mai ba thone sadam done sawan ni shawagi nawe terje dinzu ka tha yongyo ba yindi ta mi gi ka mara rangra chawa dashi chaware mado nesu sabaji se chini drup cheya di nesu mare dine talen dang anzu de khewa maboji chilone peyore ursa rani kema yore cheza de khonan sogi ta simju mangbo na jine ani ji pangbo ta mangbo duje mangbo ji yebe ge thone ani ji ge muna dapen dawo mai ba chene ta ji gi iksha ji shane andi maung ba ta rimbe thone iksha de maro chimba yindi ani ngebo ji da tembo ji yongra ge sebo ji yong thue ge de rewa dig bejon chere dalengi ta drawing diring da sani dinde namazoda 지다 인지양 챙에 매바 망고 유지를 땅 가도 달로 깨줄기 아니 시라 고릭 슈트 마소 제산디 공개 매바 제체 빠라빠라래야 야 지게 유튜브 도능에 주지 쇼이 야 잠만 야고 세로 나 쉐체 땅에 모두 쇼이 난다 마 개원 넘버서. So I will now bring to a brief introduction of today's speaker, not everyone but today's speaker. But I have to introduce first conference organizer. I can't do without that. Whether you like it or not. So you cannot escape. So Dr. Wang Mo Dixie is actually the main person behind and idea and conference organizer, and she's a respected Buddhist leader, well-known Buddhist leader, and also she's the director of the Light of Buddha Dharma Foundation International, which has done incredible amount of job. And recently we see in Bodh Gaya where the Tripitaka meeting has swelled into 40,000 plus of people gathered from all over the world. It is making for more than 20 years, her dedication, her devotion. She is really considered mother of Dharma. Truly, thank you. And she is also main person behind for making this prayer of Guru Rinpoche really come to life in Odisha, now second year. Thank you again very much. Then Dr. Richard Dixie, which made just the opening and will be also making a closing session, also husband of Dr. Wangmo. He's a scholar, PhD from London University, and distinction in history and philosophy. Of science from London University, so a lot of achievement there, and he's also a practicing Buddhist for more than 30 years. So that is a very wonderful bridge, academy and practitioner. I think that is very important. We have to have this angle, and very happy to have him among us today. And though he is not going to deliver his paper, but he will be making an important note from time to time regarding the whole event as it develops. Then our first speaker will be Dr. Prabir Kumar Patnaik. Dr. Prabir Kumar Patnaik is really one of the, I would say, legend as far as Guru Padmasambhava story goes in Odisha. And Doctor is a former consultant with the International Labour Organization and a development researcher specializing in rural accessibility. So he has worked extensively across Asia, Europe, and Americas. Now, one of the most important things is today in Orissa, if there is a renewed enthusiasm and talk on the Guru Padmasambhava or the re-emergence of Guru Padmasambhava's importance in Odisha, I could say is one of the reason is him, Dr. Prabir, because he really worked for more than 40 years in a lot of research and also released his comprehensive book of Guru Padmasambhava. So he will be today presenting his paper on birthplace of Guru Padmasambhava, Odiyana is Odisha. Then second speaker today would be Dr. Anita Sabat, also very known to me. Oh, where is she? Okay. So Dr. Anita Sabat is the cultural researcher, writer, and heritage advocate committed to the preservation and promotion of Odisha and India's rich cultural heritage. She is also instrumental in actually making this whole Guru Rinpoche's prayer and possible reality here in Odisha. She made a lot of good network on our behalf, and she's well connected, and she did her lot in making the event possible. And she's also a fellow Oriya like myself, and very adverse believer in Guru Rinpoche Padmasambhava, birthplace none other than Odisha. And so she will be speaking on exploring and establishing Odiyana Guru Padmasambhava's origin. That would be her paper. Then Lama Tenzin Sampel, who is my fellow Oriya Tibetan, lived in Orissa for many years. We also studied in the same Nyingma College. He did his doctorate from the Nyingma College in Nepal, and later he served as a professor at Sorbonne University in France, and he's been active in many fields of research. And Lama Tenzin is also very keen on the history and the Buddhism, related history in Odisha. So he would be invaluable, really, a speaker to this conference on the Odiyana, Odisha, and Padmasambhava. Then we have Dr. Frederick Moronval. Is it correct? Yeah. Dr. Frederick Moronval is a French Indologist and associate researcher at the Center for Himalayan Studies. His research focuses on Indo-Nepalese Buddhism, Vajrayana tradition, and the historical geography of Buddhist culture. So he has also published several books on Nevari tradition and the tradition that exists in the valley of Kathmandu. Also importantly, Tantric Buddhism. And most important of that is Odiyana and Odisha. That is the work that he has done. He will today deliver on the Odisha, the birthplace of Vajrayana. Then today's last speaker, if am I right, last speaker today's, will be Rahul Ravi Rao. Rahul Ravi Rao is a senior faculty member in the Department of Pali, University of Mumbai, and a PhD scholar in Buddhist education and culture. He holds, So he has a specialization in Buddhist archaeology and pilgrimage studies. And he has also published several books. And very happy to have you with us. And he will be talking on revival of India's best kept secret Buddhist cultural sites of Odiyana. So these are the speakers for today. And they will be really talking on the birthplace of Guru Padmasambhava as well as the cradle of Vajrayana relating to Odisha. Then I will be giving them 30 minutes for each of you speaker to begin with. I hope 30 minutes would be good for you, but we'll keep the little bit Tibetan style and Indian style, more or less. I will give you a ping before 3 minutes so that you are aware of the minutes. So 30 minutes is a lot because I have attended many conferences, I never got 30 minutes. So you have been given very good amount of time. We'll see. Thank you. So the first speaker I would invite is Dr. Frederick Moronval. Dr. Frederick Moronval, please. Not this one.
Okay, I start. Let's see if we have the pictures, okay? If not, it's no problem. Okay, thank you so much to invite me to speak today in front of this honorable assembly. So all my colleagues and friends will all give precise explanations about their specific topics. So as I am starting, I will be quite general. And I will start to mention the relevance of our topic, that to establish the connection between Vajrayana, and especially Guru Padmasambhava, and the state of Odisha. It's okay, no problem if you cannot find it. I start anyway, okay? So, one of our main purpose in doing all these researches is to establish Odisha as a place of pilgrimage for the followers of Vajrayana. So, what is the importance of pilgrimage on the individual level? I think there are two sides. One inner side, or subjective side, and outer side, or objective. I will compare with one event in our ordinary life. When we visit the birthplace of our parents or grandparents, or even our own childhood house, or even the school where we have studied, like primary school, when we visit these kind of places, we feel moved. Inside, we feel gratitude because we remember the kindness of our parents, grandparents, or teachers, their love, their dedication, efforts to teach us something, their patience, and we feel gratitude. And the outer level is in that kind of place, somehow their spirit, their soul are still there. Their intention to make us grow and to give us good attitude and ideas for our whole life is still there. In the same way, when we visit a place blessed by the founders of our tradition, spiritual tradition, we feel the same phenomenon. We feel gratitude, we remember their kindness, their teaching, and obviously their mind and intention are still present here and give us blessings. So those who have clear vision like our masters, they know that is the case of Odisha. And for all of us, other people, we need some evidence and research, and that is our purpose of all of us, the speakers of today and tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So this importance of pilgrimage is acknowledged by every tradition and every branch of Buddhism, right? So whether we follow Theravada, Mahayana, or Vajrayana, we all like to visit the places related to the life of Buddha Sakyamuni. Okay? Lumbini, Kapilavastu, Bodhgaya, Sarnath, Sravasti, Kushinagar, mostly. Then, on top of that, if we follow the Mahayana philosophy and attitude, we also like to visit Gridakuta in Rajgir, right, where the Buddha taught the Prajna Paramita. And again, on top of that, if we follow Vajrayana, of course, we also like to visit the places related to the life of the Buddha and also Rajgir. But we also need a place specific to our tradition, Vajrayana. Mm-hmm. So, of course, what would be the place really specific to Vajrayana is Udayana. So the importance of Udayana is very clear when we read the Vajrayana literature. So, for example, I'll give you some mention, like in Goya Garbha Tantra, in the Sadhana Mala, and all these kind of texts, we have the word Udiyana appearing. For example, in the Sadhanamala, we have mentions of deities like Kurukula of Udiyana, Marichi of Udiyana. And of course, we all worship Padmasambhava of Udiyana. So this word Udiyana is quite redundant. Even for the followers of the Dzogchen tradition in Tibetan Buddhism, there is Garab Dorje. Garab Dorje was also discovered in the lake of Dana Kosha, like Guru Padmasambhava in Udiyana. And also, we already mentioned, our friends already mentioned King Indrabhuti of Udiyana. So this redundant word of Udiyana really makes us focus to locating Udiyana. It's very important if you want to have a place of pilgrimage. So, of course, a very famous hypothesis about the location of Udiyana is the Swat Valley in today's Kashmir in Pakistan. So, what is the origin of this hypothesis? From Professor Tucci from Italy a long time ago. And this theory has been repeated again and again by everybody, taken for granted. So let's see what are the evidence. As our colleague Professor Richard mentioned, there are no statues related to Vajrayana practice. But what is the basis of this hypothesis? There are two elements. First, the name of a place, Udyana, U-D-Y-A-N-A, which is spelling which relates to a pronunciation quite different from Uddiyan. It's different, Udyana. Udyana meaning garden. So where do we learn about that place? From the Chinese pilgrim Xuanzang, 7th century. There are two elements in his travelogue. Uchangna, what he wrote, Uchangna, and according to his way to translate Indian languages into Chinese, it could mean Udyana with one D, okay, just Udyana. And he also mentioned magic formula, magic words. Then we might think, okay, he mentioned the use of magic words by some Buddhist monks in that place in the 7th century. He said ordained people, so monks, following the great vehicle, following the pure conduct, are not very learned, and practice the magic formula. So we might think, oh, maybe magic formula means the mantra of Vajrayana. But actually, if we read another Chinese pilgrim, Song Yun, from the 6th century, 1 century before, he also talked about Wu Chang and the magic formula of Polomen. So if we follow his transcription from Indian languages to Chinese, Polomen means the Brahmin caste. And so if we read his travelogue, we understand that these magic formula are not related to Buddhism, but are the magic text and mantras of the Hindu Brahmins. So there is no mention of Vajrayana or Tantrayana in the two Chinese pilgrim travelogue. Then comes the Tibetan pilgrims, Orgenpa and Taksangrepa. So the famous Italian researcher Giuseppe Tucci published in 1940 a translation of the two pilgrimage accounts by Orgenpa and Taksangrepa. Orgenpa traveled to the west of Tibet in the 13th century, following the teaching from his guru, Ge Tsongpa. Then in the early 17th century, Taksangrepa, following his book, tried to find that place, Udyana. But even Professor Tucci, when commenting on this pilgrimage of Tibetan monks, he acknowledged that it's not clear at all. Where is the place? And they don't mention that they met Buddhist practitioners at all. So we are not sure if one of them really went to the place called Udyan or he had a pure vision. This is really not clear from their travelogue. No evidence. And on top of that, we know that by that time, the Gandhara area, including Swat, had been destroyed a long time ago, in the early 6th century, by the Shweta Hunas, the white Huns. So there is nothing very strong in the Tibetan travelogue of that time. And to conclude on the hypothesis of the Swat Valley, we can turn to geography and botany. If we take the famous prayer in 7 lines to Padmasambhava, Orgenyuki nu chansam pema kesa dongpola, right? So, or you want, okay, Orgenyuki nu chansam pema kesa dongpola, then? They mentioned Padmasambhava arise on the lotus flower. And then second part of the prayer is about the circle of Dakini, right? So very basically, why not taking this into account, the lotus flower? The Swat Valley is 3,000 meters high in the mountains. In the winter, the water is totally frozen. And the lotus flower that we have in Asia needs a water not colder than 18 degrees. So just according to geography and climate, it's difficult to imagine lotus flowers in the Swat Valley. And second, we know King Indrabhuti, he took a boat. So we can take a boat on the river or on the sea. And yes, there are some small rivers in the Swat Valley. But he went in search of a jewel island. And on that trip, he found Padmasambhava on a lotus flower. So I didn't find a mention of a place where we can find jewels like diamonds in the Swat Valley, and it's difficult to travel by boat in these high mountains. Okay, so lotus flower cannot grow. We cannot really go by a big boat. There is no jewels and no jewel island over there. But in Orissa, there we have everything. We can travel by boat not only on the sea but on the Mahanadi. There is a place famous for 2,000 years for diamonds, Sambalpur, or Sambalak, a different name across history, on the Mahanadi River in the western Orissa. And we have, of course, lotus flowers. I had very nice pics, but it's okay, no problem. So, these are simple elements. Of course, these are not evidence like a text or a statue, but we should not discard so-called prayers or legends. And they contain indications, and we will see more about this topic. Then another element can be found in Hindu, Tantra, and Shakta texts. They mention also Uddiyana Pitha, like a holy place for tantric practice. We have also in Hevajra Tantra. And also in Shakta and Hindu texts, they mention Uddiyana in the list of the 4 main pithas. In Hevajra, we find Uddiyana, Kamarupa, Purnagiri, Jalandhara. In the Sadhana Mala, Uddiyana, Purnagiri, Kamarupa, Srihata. And in the Hindu text also we find the same names. And most of these names, they are located in either Bengal or Bangladesh. And also in the Hindu Brihanila Tantra, the god Jagannath, that we are going to mention also, has a consort called Bhairavi, goddess of Uddiyana. This is in a Hindu text. Also in the Kalika Purana, another Hindu text. Okay, I'm going to list all these elements without going too into the details, because already we have taken 15 minutes. And all my colleagues will go deeper into their own preferred topics. So I remain quite general. Then I mentioned Sambalpur. Of course, it sounds like Shambhala, and there are some elements to consider this hypothesis seriously. Beside the Hirakud, like the island of diamonds, which is the name of the island, which is now just under the water dam in Sambalpur. Hirakud Dam is built on the Hirakud Island. Just nearby, as our colleague mentioned, there was the village of Padmapur, which is under the water. And there were 300 villages which are now submerged in the Sambalpur area. In the biography of King Indrabhuti in the 84 Mahasiddhas, biography by Abhaya Karagupta, Indrabhuti is mentioned as the king of Shambhala in the area of Udiyana. And in this Udiyana, there were two kingdoms, Shambhala and Lanka. And in the biography of Mahasiddha Lakshminkara, the sister of King Indrabhuti, she was supposed to marry the prince of Lanka. So we can be confused, this Lanka, because today we know only Sri Lanka, but actually Lanka has been the name of many places in India. And Sonepur in Orissa, just east of Sambalpur, in the 10th century, it is attested, it was known under the name of Lanka. And in that area, on the Mahanadi River, there is a sacred rock that people worship called Lankeshwari, the goddess of Lanka. It could refer to Lakshminkara, it's possible. It would make sense that Indrabhuti found Padmasambhava on the Diamond Island on Mahanadi in Sambalpur. The neighboring kingdom was Lanka, Sonepur. And the memory of Lakshminkara is still kept under the name of Lankeshwari. These elements have to be also taken in consideration. Now, other part of that list of bodies of evidence, Katak and Danya Kataka. On all these points, I refer to the works of Indian researchers, Indian scholars who are doing such a great work since many years. Danya Kataka, where the Buddha appeared as Kalachakra, right? Yes, we usually consider it is in Amaravati in Andhra Pradesh, but we didn't find any Vajrayana statues in Aravati, only statues related to Buddha Sakyamuni. And also, although there is a village called Dharani Kota in Amaravati, yes, of course there is the word Dharani, it's interesting. It's not mantra, it's just Dharani. So one possibility is that Danya Kataka was Katak today near Bhubaneswar. And we have to think of the similarity of the Sun Temple, Konarak, with all these astrological symbols on the wheels of the stone chariot, right? They are the zodiac signs as described in the Kalachakra Tantra. Also in Orissa. Another element which requires further research is the Jagannath, the Lord Jagannath. It would be good to inquire about the cult, the pujas done in the different Jagannath temples, and also the statues which are still available there. Of course, we all know about the mention of Lord Jagannath and the homage to Lord Jagannath by King Indrabhuti in his own text. His own text that he wrote in Udiyana. He mentioned at the end of the text, this was written in Udiyana Pita. And the text starts with homage to Jagannath. This also has to be taken in consideration. Then more broadly in Orissa, we find so many Buddhist sites. We discover every year new and new sites and statues, as you know so well, and we saw today on this very site. And my colleagues are going to talk about this in more details. So, another point is the 64 Yogini temples of Hirapur. Hirapur, again a city of diamond, is so redundant in Orissa. Right? Hirakud in Sambalpur. Hirapur, not far from here. In Hirapur you have the 64 Yogini temple in a circle. It reminds me of the 7-line prayer to Guru Padmasambhava. Surrounded by a circle of Dakinis. Born on a lotus, surrounded by a circle of Dakinis. When we visit Hirapur 64 Chausati, right? Chausati Yogini temple, we have both lotus pond and circle of Dakini. I don't mean Guru was born there, but it's so redundant. Now, if we move to other names of places, you have Tarapur, Padmapur, even a village is called Kurukula. And the Sadhana Mala gives the practice of Kurukula of Odiyana. So Kurukula is a place also in Odiyana. Marichipur, Vajragiri, Bidyarpur, possibly place of Vidyadhara, Buddha Bahal, Buddha Kol, also called Bodh, where there are still statues of Buddha still worshipped. And the river Virupa, maybe a coincidence, but it reminds us of Mahasiddha Virupa. And in the village called Chaurasi, means 84, maybe 84 Mahasiddha. We find the temple of today Varahi. Today's statue is a female deity with the head of, how we say in English, the pig, female pig. I forgot, sorry, the name. And the sow, S-O-W, Varahi. It makes us think of Vajra Varahi. And there are tantric images inside that temple. In the village called 84. Then another direction for research is the language, the linguistics. Thanks to the great Bengali researcher who discovered the manuscript in Nepal in the Royal Library of Kathmandu 100 years ago, the Doha, the Charyapada, the songs of realization of the Mahasiddhas. These are written in an old language. So some people will say this is ancient Oriya, ancient Bengali, ancient Maithili. At that time, the language landscape was different. But anyhow, it's not a language from Kashmir. We can be sure of that. And then last point about the biographies of the Mahasiddhas. They mentioned the Karvira flower and Champaka flowers. They are also very much present in eastern India, not in high mountains. And then about the very names of the Mahasiddhas who have connection with Odisha. Either they were born here, they learned, studied, practiced, or taught here for all their life or just a part of their life. The list is very impressive. First, we can take scholars from Mahayana. There were also Mahasiddhas, like Nagarjuna, who founded the monastery here, and Vasumitra, who converted a Hindu philosopher in the 5th century, and so on. Dignaga also lived in a monastery in Orissa. Dharmapala, his disciple, taught the Yogachara in Orissa. Dharmakirti, his student, also taught here and found a monastery in Orissa. Then for the Vajrayana masters proper, Vajraghanta, Darikapa, disciple of Lila Vajra, himself disciple of Lakshminkara. Virupa also taught in Orissa. Kanhapa or Krishna Charin, Sahaja Lalita, Gyana Vajra, Shavaripa, Sarapada, Kambalapada Padma Vajra, who taught the Hevajra Tantra, Luipa, Lalita Vajra, who taught the Krishna Yamari. I saw today a very nice statue of Krishna Yamari here. His disciple Maitri Yogi, who was born in Mayurbanj, district of Odisha. Kukuripa, who was very close to King Indraboti. Gambira Vajra. Pitopa, who was almost finished.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Relax.
Yeah. I will do it. Pitopa, very important. He revealed the Kala Chakra. He was a master of yoga at Ratnagiri Monastery, Pitopa. Abhaya Datta or Abhaya Karagupta, born in the north of Odisha and became the abbot of Vikramashila Monastery in Bihar later in life. And Avadutipa, Bodhishri, Naropa, they all studied at Ratnagiri. And to finish, Mandarava, consort of Guru Padmasambhava. At one point, Guru Padmasambhava told Mandarava to go to help the people in Nepal, Magadha, Zahor, Udiyana, and Kalinga. All these places are very close by. Now, to conclude quickly, I would say, I would talk to the people of Odisha. I'm sorry, I cannot speak Oriya language, but it's very rare in the world to be born or to belong to a place which has been so much blessed. And these blessings didn't come just by chance. It's thanks to the practice, spiritual practice and efforts of the Oriyan people of the past. So if you are Oriyan, you can consider your ancestors have been essential in the discovery of the Buddhist Tantra of Vajrayana tradition. They have been essential in their practice, their teaching, their transmission to all the world. It's not only ancient history. I'm sure we can still find in Oriya language or prayers, or maybe magic practice, cultural practice, even the state of mind, the attitude, politeness. This should be explored. I'm sure we can find still remains of Vajrayana and Buddhist philosophy at large. So Oriyan people should be very proud and not consider Vajrayana as a foreign religion. It's not at all the case. And that religion has been kept abroad for many centuries, and we should be very thankful to Tibetan people to have done that. But now it's back home. So I think to take root here again, Vajrayana should be re-Indianized in a way. Especially I think of translation. Translating the teaching, the sadhana, in Oriya language and other Indian languages to make it accessible to other people. It should not remain a research just for academic people to stay in the books in the universities. Vajrayana, the purpose of Vajrayana is to help the people to improve themselves, so it has to be made accessible to everybody. So I think translation and other cultural adaptation, maybe in architecture of temples or something, could be made to make Oriyan people feel more comfortable with this tradition and finally accept that, yes, this is our tradition. We are going to make it alive again for our own benefit and the benefit of the whole world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Frederick, for your wonderful presentation. Thank you. I would like to summarize very shortly in Tibetan so that larger public here may understand. Tanda kongi iksha lekshe masoya di Dr. Frederick gi ane odi yana ta sanga dojitik bi jungne se chik titola sompre an korangi ta dinane dodi jima tan tenda zo de ma chi shube ina ani anda ujing yu ngun jinsa di ani anda danang adu da yongra gi cho jingne anda Pakistan da Afghanistan na yebagi SWAT se chigita Tromba Yobati any and the Italy Yama Kawan Professor Tucci sing Tigi and ma Iksha Davosona Chene and the Pigila Yobaki Gonjito your rest, exchanging batching now. That was a purge shone, Toma Tanshu DNA to top Gazam Pig Loma and to top Ujemba Seati, any Lami Shisha Chene, Ujing Yula Pepe Logi Yobre, and tea and the Peja Swat Valley Seatilea Pepe Yosare, the Tig Ju Julaya, any Taxan Reba, to top Taxan Reba, here any Lami Tigara Simchin Payos, Sineata, Taxan Reba. Kungosu Ujin Yula Peva Yoso, Yana Talangi Java Yitinzo, and Yaba Mindus and Shikturesha. That ready Inaya, and that Ujin Yu Ngosu lips Hadu, and it Ujin Yugi Shebadi, now Shizung Chimbayina, Yagegi, now Layatan Sungu Mindus, Pena Tambo, Medo Peme Uni, Guru Buchikutungu Yava Yindi. Ablok Torasa Shan Toje, please, Wampajo. हाँ उधर थोड़ा शांत रहे प्लीज तो बात सुनिए ना इतना शोर मत मचाओ प्लीज आपको सुनना है तो स्वागतम है आइए शामिल कीजिए कुछ ज्ञान यहाँ से भी ले जाइए आपको एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात हो रहा है यहाँ पर उड़ीसा के बारे में इतिहास के बारे में तो आपको सुनना बहुत ज़रूरी है हमसे ज़्यादा हमारा ओडिया भाई बहनों को सुनना चाहिए ये जेने तत् हिंदी थांदा सवात वैली से आदि चिले सुमतों की गंग ला चावा की सकांग थुम्बु की साने चिकला अने मेदो पेमा से आदि योंडा की दम दिखिया बता मा सत मासा की शुद्ध जिंगु न लया क्या कि मैं तो जिच्छा दबा हिंदी ती तंबो सात थोमेंगे थोंगे नम ट्रांसफर तांती तला मैं तो पे मैं क्या वेलोजी यो हमारे से चिकता करांगे तीदा ड्रेवेगी फिगर ने चला नहीं शावा मंगोजी यो बनाने हैं अने ड्रसुंगु मिंदुस सांगा तोजी तेग बता ड्रेवेगी चला तो ngobotin de shira thoya midus ta jema hyun sang se adita gyana gi chumba ta thoma jaga gi ta nangba dan debegi ni lami jeshu iksha thanda bod ne dingi de khong iksha dirba jaga khorang la yo mare maza khorane cheza khong urisal phe chidi ko so khong gi sikwa gi thone ya dele ya sang gi ne ba chi ngi mong na shas ta khanda dindi indi ani tade chala ya ta ujing gi yul se ji la yong du ani anda medo pema se ji thungsa dinzo ke je she yong du kap so anda jarsu guda se gi lungba chi sambalpur da nyebu chi ता संबलपुर से आदे चंगोमा की शंबाला लबगी दुबा कंजो शंबाला इंबा की शंबाल बग 10 सुरछा ने संबलपुर छागी होरे ठीक ग्याबु दिले या न्यामा खरां जोलॉजी नाला इंदर बुती से आची किता योबर रेसन के शिगी होसरे ता तीदा था नेसा कांतन ग्याबु इंदर बुदी की अने गुरु रुंबचे मेदोपे में उनी ठुंबदी ने गुगु योबा हिंदी को दिने था मरिंग बची की साजा चिले या अने महानदी की जू की सो दंडे चिले या हीराकुट 간다 저수 구다 잘 히라쿠르세다 나도 속 증침부지 소여바 로 증침부데 디 여바디 히라세디 거저 도르지 세거버 도르지 팔람 지 도르지 팔람 길링 세야지기 녜마 링 추주지 여바다스 안에 딜레야 춘저 축강은 춘저 서시어디 딘소 강가로 춘나 팀 진다 토야 여마레 안에 디 코랑라 예발라야 종바 민라 padmapur 세야지 종으로 열로지나라 ता पद्मपुर से आती अने गुरु रुंबची की छेंगे माठाने कोंजो चेवा ही सनानी जर्सु गुडा चालया ता पद्मपुर की ठोंचे नेशो दिलया अने गुरु रुंबची कुतांबे की युली हिंस गंजी चेने ना योरो चेसे गा छिबे गंजो गोबा ने मा थासान छिजे फये गुरु रुंबची कु छंबोची शेंगने आ फगेलया शुक्सु सोयो चेने तांदा कोंजो ता पिगेला दोजांग दा चेबा चेजिने शाशा ता तांदा 지당 गंजो ता नेबा शिवजी तो टेंपेता तदा शिने दोजुरी दिने या ता टेंबु दिने गले जुंगु योबरे ता दिने की तोने ने कोरांग दि शिवजी ने शोला या तदा कटक से या देखो दि ठोंचे दि धम देखो रे भुवनेश्वर धम ला कटक से जोरे कटक का ता दि कटक का से या दि दसुर छा ने अने दान कटक का से रे पलदेन देव पुंबा दि दान कटक का से या की मिंग तारा छा दियोरेस di indi and delaya ta pel tuju kolo wang nangsa di ngushi de cha de yores page handa nganzo amravati se adila ngundi che desa yutila dubje shira mindus ta tedan debagi ani tanda nime chingur nime langa se yor konarak che number c yor konarak di ani tyoko lelang gi chingur rangshung gi dubdeba 대가랑 도갈 것이야 대가랑 레스 되걸려라 대단 제백이 딱 한다 먼저 율 가는 뭐 적주rep시 제 슉데서디 아니 안다 사자디 민라야야 도지 팔람 링스 레 히라 쿠츠 레고도 제사 구루 직도 선데 나라 코르도 칸로 망베 코르세 세온디 아니 저 미마 임바타 이식 칸로 고고고이바 인디 코르디 아니 텐데기 아니 단다 히라쿠르라 nenjoma tukchu repshigi an lagandi dosine shengdi shengdang samma tebe inaya dilaya koju dus ta kanda kongi ta dordu jamjinge dosine dyujine shubei an kon tu sheshwei So next we would like to call on Prabir Kumar Patnaik. Please, sir, you have 30 minutes and 5-minute compassion.
Namo Buddhaya. Namaste. My topic presentation here is Guru Padmasambhava's birthplace, Udiyan is Odisha. Usually conclusion is at the end when we conclude, but I begin with my conclusion. Padmasambhava, popularly known as Udiyan Guru, originally belongs to Udiyan, which must be nowhere else but exclusively present Odisha state in eastern India. Claim for his other origin is completely untenable and unacceptable. Actually, we all know there is a controversy behind the origin of the Guru. So, my presentation is completely based on my book. This is a very voluminous book. Name of the book is Udiyana Guru Padmasambhava, the second Buddha. And in this book, I have dealt with both the issues. That Guru does not belong to Gandhara, and much emphasis has been laid on that aspect. And the second issue, Guru Padmasambhava, belongs to Odisha. And my presentation is on the second issue, because it is a very big controversial matter, so it will take much time. Only I have dealt that Guru Padmasambhava's birthplace is Odisha. Udiyan, the cradle of Tantric Buddhism. Pagsam Janjang, Tantric Buddhism, Pagsam Janjang says, Tibetan text, Tantric Buddhism first developed in Udiyana. Udiyana, most important among 4 pithas of Hindus as well as Buddhist tantras. Many tantric Buddhist scholars connected with the introduction of many original tantras hailed from Udiyana. Udiyana is the fountainhead of all tantric knowledge. Udiyana is the place of great importance for tantric Buddhism. Four important pithas or sites of tantric Buddhism. In Hebajra Tantra, a Vajrayanic text, there are names of 4 pithas: Jalandhara, Udiyana, Purnagiri, and Kamarupa. In Sadhana Mala, another important Vajrayan text of about 10th to 11th century, there are 4 names: Kamankhya, Srihat, Purnagiri, and Udiyana. In Sadhana Mala, Udiyana is differently written there. somewhere Odian, somewhere Udian, and somewhere Udrayan. Same name mentioned differently. In Sadhana Mala, we find two different series of names. Series 1 is Urgyan, Udian, presupposes Udiana and Udian. Series 2, Udibhisa. Udibhisa is Udra and Audravhisa, that is Odisha. Series 1 is associated with King Indrabhuti. Indrabhuti is king of Udibhisa. Padmasambhava also says Indrabhuti is the king of Odisha. Series 1 plus Series 2 connected to Indrabhuti. Kalika Purana, another important Hindu text of 9th to 10th century AD, it says 4 prominent tantric pithas. In Hindu tantric text, 4 prominent tantric pithas in Kalika Purana are Odra, Jala Shaila, Purna Pitha, and Kamarupa. Almost resemble with the 4 pithas of Hevajra Tantra and very slightly with Sadhana Mala. First Tantra Pitha. Hevajra Tantra says it is Odiana, Sadhana Mala says it is Odiana, Udiana or Udrayana, Kalika Purana says it is Odra. So Odra, Udian are the same. Kalika Purana also says another important thing. Lord Jagannath and goddess Katyayani are the presiding deities of Odra. Indrabhuti, in his famous Vajrajani work, Jnana Siddhi, invokes Buddha Vajrasattva as Jagannath. Ananga Vajra, preceptor of Indrabhuti, in his Pragyampaya Vinishchaya Siddhi, another Vajrajani work, mentions Jagannath. Jagannath in this text is identified with Lord Jagannath worshipped at Puri and many other places and temples of Odisha. Puri is the first temple of Lord Jagannath. Identification of Odiana with Odisha appears reasonable when the analogous description of both Hevajra Tantra and Kalika Purana, where Odra and Udiana or Odrayana are the same. Chaturasiti Siddhi Pravruti and Padmasambhava descriptions in both identify Indrabhuti being the king of Odisha, which is the same as Odra and same as Udiana. Vajranatha, Vajrajana, Jagannath as Buddha. The first mention of Jagannath as manifestation of Buddha. Jagannath is the almost state deity of Odisha. The first mention of Jagannath as a manifestation of Buddha is found in the work Jnana Siddhi of Indrabhuti, the king of Udiana, propounder of Vajrajana. The author begins his work after offering his prayer to Jagannath Buddha. Pranipatya Jagannatham Sarvajina Varachitam Sarva Buddha Mayam Siddhi Vyapinam Gaganopamam. Sri Jagannatha, propitiated by Indrabhuti in the beginning of his work, could only be identified with Jagannatha at Puri for reasons below. The image of Jagannatha is not found anywhere else in ancient India except Puri. The image of Jagannatha at Puri has a long history behind it. Traditions regarding Buddhist origin of Sri Jagannatha are current in Odisha for centuries and found expression in the Odia literature widely. Buddhist origin of Jagannatha finds mention in the literature of the Dhamma cult in old Bengali language also. In the 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu, Hindu Trinity, inscribed on the gateway of temple of Jagannath at Puri, Buddha, the 9th incarnation, has been replaced as Jagannatha. Buddha is the 9th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Famous tantric works like Kalika Purana, Rudra Jamala, Brahma Jamala, Tantra Jamala, all compiled before 1950 AD. Jagannath is described as the famous deity of Udra or Odisha or Utkala. Jagannath, mentioned by Indrabhuti, is the celebrated deity of Puri only. Jnana Siddhi by Indrabhuti, stated in its colophon, to have been written in Odiyan Pitha. This Odiyan Pitha can be identified with Udra Pitha, which is eulogized in Kalika Purana, the first Tantric Pitha in India. Odiyan, Odisha, birthplace of Tantric Buddhism. Vajrayana, the king of Sambhala, Sambalpur, Siddha Indrabhuti, is regarded as the propounder of Vajrayana, the main tantric branch of Mahayana. Authored many Vajrayanic tantric texts, all preserved in Tibet. Jnana Siddhi of Indrabhuti is the most prominent work. Sahajajana, an offshoot of Vajrayana. Bhagavati Lakshmikara, also one Siddha, is the founder or propagator. Lakshmikara is the queen of Sonpur, present Suvarnapur, and sister of King Indrabhuti. Kala Chakrajana, in the 10th century AD, Acharya Pitopada introduced it at Ratanagiri Mahavihara by bringing Kala Chakratanta from Sambhala, that is Sambalpur. So, all the three branches of the Tantric Buddhism, Vajrayana, Sahajajana, and Kala Chakrajana, all almost originated in Odisha only. History of the 84 Siddhas. Identification of Udiyana is associated with locating two important territories within it. History of the 84 Siddho ka Vrutanta Tibetan text, that history says, identification of Udiyana is in that 84 Siddho ka Vrutanta it is mentioned. Udiyana is associated with locating two important cities within it. In 84 Siddho ka Vrutanta. First one is Sambhala, ruled by Indrabhuti. Second one is Lankapuri, ruled by King Jalendra, whose son married Lakshmikara, sister of Indrabhuti. First Sambhala, observation of Ptolemy, 2nd century AD. The geographist Ptolemy and given diamond mines in Sambhala and Sambhala on the bank of river Mahanadi, providing the antiquity of Sambalpur. This is the report of 2nd century AD. Eminent scholars like Rahul Sankuritayana, B.C. Majumdar and others identify this Sambhala with present Sambalpur of Odisha. Acharya Pitopada brought Kalachakra Tantra from Sambhala in the 10th century AD and introduced Kalachakra Jana at Ratnagiri Mahavihara in Jajpur area. Sambhala must be near to Ratnagiri. This is Sambhala. This Sambhala is Sambalpur. Buddhist texts, Chandra Marichi Ratna Ratnabali, Vajrayani text. From the verse it is known that the diamond producing land Sambhala near river Mahanadi is the place where King Indrabhuti ruled. This Sambhala is present Sambalpur in Odisha on the bank of river Mahanadi. Foreign travelers like Tavernier, Mustafa, Lord Clive's representative, Quito and Maratha records also depict Sambalpur diamond mines. Adwin's book also records the world famous Taj-i-Mahal diamond of Sambalpur collected from river Mahanadi. Indrabhuti's royal palace is Sambhala was located at Jatumati. Scholars have identified present Jamda or Jamda in Burla Hirakud region near Sambalpur town as Jatumati. Dhanakosha Lake near Jatumati also identifies the big pond tank in Dhanakoda region of Sambalpur town. Same like in Lankapuri, according to inscriptions of 10th century AD of the Somavanshi rulers issued by Kumara Someshwara Dev and this king's Mahada copper plate gland, Sonpur, the present Suvarnapur district adjacent to Sambalpur district, and on the bank of river Mahanadi, was called Lankapuri. Goddess Lankeshwari, referred to in some of the sadhanas of Sadhana Mala, is also regarded as presiding deity of this territory. Scholars have identified Sonpur, Suvarnapur as the ancient Lankapuri region. Conclusion of this one. Scholars have thus concluded that Udiyana be identified with Odisha, Sambhala with present Sambalpur, and Lankapuri can be no other than the territory of modern Sonpur, Suvarnapur region. Other evidences Sadharma Pundarika records prophecy of a Buddha. In a distant future time, he would be a Buddha under the name of a Padmasambhava or Padmasambhava, and his place of enlightenment will be Biraja. The celebrated Biraja is modern Jajpur in Odisha, close to this place. Miniature Nepalese manuscript of 8th, 9th century. Inscription that Vajrapani of Mangala Kostha of Udiana. Mangala Kostha is identified as the old town of Mangalapur of tantric importance situated close to Biraja, Jajpur. Kubjika Tantra, it also mentions Biraja as the goddess of Udiana. Brihanyala Tantra, Bhairavi, consort of Lord Jagannath, is the goddess of Udiana. Biraja was the state deity of Odisha and is the major Devi goddess Pitha of Odisha, and also the place was the capital of ancient Odisha for more than 1000 years. Many of the tantric siddhas like Saraha, Luipa, Savripa and others are regarded as belonging to Udiana. They have composed large number of religious songs, dohas, charja, padas, etc., mainly containing the tenets of Vajrayana and Sahajana. The language is the parent stock of a modern Odia language, that is the language of Odisha. Bengali, Maithili tongues, which is the language of Eastern India only. That Odian was considered to be identical Odisha in the 15th century AD is confirmed by an epigraphical evidence from South India. An inscription during the reign of King Virupaksha corresponding to 1473 AD refers to the confusion caused by Odiana, that is Odisha, at Jambai in the South Arcot district, that is in Tamil Nadu of India, for 10 years. The Odiana Golabai or disturbance caused by Odisha is also mentioned in an inscription dated during the reign of Saluha Narasingha in Tamil Nadu. Vajrayana images are found in abundance throughout Odisha, and many of them conform to the sadhanas preserved in the Sadhana Mala, Nispanna Jogavali, and other Buddhist texts. Images of Dhani Buddhas, Manjushri, Padmapani, Vajrapani, Trailakya Vijaya, Jambhala, Heruka, Bhairavi, Chamunda, etc., carved out in grace and beauty, are found in large numbers all over Odisha. Besides many small Marichi images at Ratnagiri, large images of Marichi are scattered throughout Odisha from Sonpur in the west to Ramchandi in the east, from Khiching in the north to Achyutarajapur in the south, suggesting her great popularity. Tara and Lokeshwar images are also found in many places. Archaeological evidence shows remarkable increase in activities at the Buddhist center of Ratnagiri, Udayagiri, Lalitagiri in Odisha from 8th century onwards. All the main monasteries in these places were built during this period and have yielded numerous sculptures belonging to Vajrayana faith. Ample evidences, Buddhist centers in Odisha maintained close contact with Nalanda, Vikramasela in Bihar, and Bengal like Somapura, Mainmati and Jhiwari, etc. The art of early period of 8th, 9th century AD, common denominator of Eastern art, Odisha however developed its own art from almost 10th century AD. Kurukula and other Udian deities, Udian specific deities in Odisha. In the Sadhana Mala, the earliest manuscript of Vajrayana, which is dated 1165 AD, Udian is mentioned rather frequently in the manuscript. In this work, Udian is connected with the sadhanas of Kurukula, Trailokya Bhasamkara, Marichi, and Vajrayogini. There are numerous sadhanas in the Sadhana Mala devoted to Kurukula. She is one-faced and may have 2, 4, 6 or 8 arms, different forms of Kurukula as available in Sadhana Mala. Shukla Kurukula, Taradbhava Kurukula, Udian Kurukula, Ashtabhuja Kurukula, and Mayajala Krama Kurukula. Kurukula of the Tantric Buddhist Vajrayana goddesses emanated from the Dhyani Buddha Amitabha, is the most popular and important deity in the Buddhist pantheon. This image is rare in India. There are as many as 14 sadhanas for the varieties of Kurukula in the sadhana mala. In Odisha, the important site of Banapur or Chittarajpur yielded 75 Buddhist bronze images. The whole contains an excellent image of a Kurukula, conforming to the Udiana Kurukula sadhana. She is forearmed. The icon is dated 9th to 10th century AD. A stone image of a four-armed Kurukula has been recovered from Udayagiri Buddhist establishment. This image can be dated to 8th century AD. Although Indian sculptural images of Kurukula are quite rare, particularly in her Tarodbhava form, there are numerous examples in Odisha. Two images from Ratnagiri. A rare surviving example of Vajravarahi in Basudi Thakurani temple of Vadaga in Balesar district of Odisha. This deity is connected to Odiana. Another Vajravarahi image found at Chaudhar in Cuttack district. Udiana Marichi image at Marichipur in undivided Cuttack district. The goddess Marichi is a peculiarly important deity in Buddhist pantheon. Nearly 50 images of Marichi have survived in Odisha, 27 in Ratnagiri, including the 12-armed Udiana Marichi. The second example of Udiana Marichi is presently housed at Odisha Andeigoda near Singhapur in Cuttack undivided district. Relics of Padmasambhava at Udayagiri. Padmasambhava and Tara, along with other deities, are invoked in a fairly large inscription of 25 lines, incised on the back of a standing Bodhisattva, Jatamukuta Lokeswara, at Madhavapuru Mahavihara Udayagiri near Jajpur. The inscription states that Tathagata Dhisthita Dhatu Garbha Stupa, a stupa with relic inside and dwelt in by the Tathagata or Buddha. Scholars have recorded the stupa to have contained relics of Padmasambhava. Thus, archaeologically, Udayagiri site demands reasonably to be taken as a place of Mahaparinirvana of Guru Padmasambhava. You can find this last year's Venu, some about 500 feet towards left, that is still there. Birthplace of Padmasambhava, Padmapur. Village Padmapur under Lakhanpur block of present Jharsuguda district, part of undivided Sambalpur district, is the birthplace of the Guru. The village is at the tail end of the Hirakudu Dam reservoir on the river Mahanadi and has been completely submerged under the reservoir water, and the entire villagers have been shifted and resettled nearby. Padmasambhava was named so by King Indrabhuti, as he was discovered sitting on a lotus Padma flower in Dhanakosha lake. The king later named his birthplace village as Padmapur. The village goddess is also named after Padmasambhava as Padmasini, whose temple was still visible when water level recedes in the summer season. The goddess is presently being worshipped by the villagers near their new settlement. Village Padmapur is a historical place, as it is also the birthplace of a great Sanskrit playwright Bhavabhuti, who was a contemporary of Padmasambhava.
Yes, you have few minutes, please.
Maybe only one page. Conclusion, when we are discussing about Guru Padmasambhava and his life and works and achievements, the main issue of the entire episode is Udiyana. The author's book on the Guru, as mentioned in the beginning, contains many established, reliable and published accounts and facts relating to all aspects on the Guru. After analysis of various information, facts and sources and their historical, archaeological, epigraphical and literary aspects, it can be safely concluded that Udiyana is only and exclusively Odisha. The last page, Guru Padmasambhava's Odisha trail. There are 5 points related to Guru Padmasambhava. One is on the topmost birthplace Padmapur. Second is the city of Sambhala Kingdom Sambalpur. Third is the Siddha Pitha, means the place of enlightenment at Biraja Jajpur. Fourth is the place of study Yoga Tantra at Ratnagiri Mahavihara. Fifth is the place of Mahaparinibbana by Madhavapur Mahavihara, Udayagiri, present Odisha. Thank you again to all.
Thank you, Dr. Prabir. Thank you very much. Thank you. अपना इसे टिके उड़िया रे टिके कोई देबा 5 मिनट भीतरे 5 मिनट भीतरे टिके कोई देबसी गुरु पद्मसंभव एठी जन्म खोजते सीधा खाली उड़िया रे टिके 5 मिनट
अच्छा गुरु पद्मसंभव तांकर जन्म होची पद्मपुर सेटा होची झारसुगुड़ा जिल्ला रे बे प्राचीन संबलपुर अंचलर तांको गां बुडी जाईची हीराकुद बंधरे तांकर राजा होची संबलपुर राजा तांको ना होची इंद्रभूति संबलपुर राजा तांकर पुओ थिला किंतु मरि जाइथिला तांकर कोनोसी संतान नथिले दिने तांको मंत्री देखिले 8 वर्षर पुओ से अछि से तांको राजप्रसाद पाखरे गोटे बड़ पुष्करिणी ता भितरे बहुत पद्म फूल फुटी सेठी तांको से देखिले एवं तांको देहरे बहुत शुभ लक्षण थिबार देखिले देखियो राजा को खबर देले राजा जाई देखिले बहुत शुभ लक्षण जेतु पिला पाखरे अछि आ तांकर छुआ नथले से ताको पोष्य पुत्र भाव ग्रहण करिक नहीं गले राजप्रसाद को सेठी से बढ़िले परे आपण तांको राजा पाठ पढ़ेले तांको एवं तांको डिक्लेयर कर देले किछि काल समय क्रमे से होचंती युवराज संबलपुर राज्यर तापरे आपण तांकर कोनोसी गोटे असुविधा हेतु सी गोटे जाइए मफसल को तांकर गोटे बाटुड़ी मारु मारु बाजिगला गोटे पिला देहरे पिलाटी हूँ से अंचल जमींदार पुओ से जो क्रिमिनाल चार्ज लगिला तेणु बाध्य होगी रजा बेशांतर दंड देले तापर से छाड़ी पलि आसिले से जगार से बाहाघर भी करदे रजा तांकर सी आसिले हेरी सीधा आसिले आपण जाजपुर बिरजा पीठ को सेठी से साधना करी सेठी सिद्धि प्राप्ति हेले तापर से 8म शताब्दी कथा से आमर रत्नगिरी महाविहार बहुत प्रसिद्ध लाभ करथिला योगतंत्र शिक्षा पे सेठी योगतंत्र शिक्षा करी से चलले भारत भ्रमण रे बहुत स्थान भारत रे बुलिले विभिन्न प्रकार विद्या शिक्षा कले बाटरे से भागलपुर पाखरे बिहार बेंगल बॉर्डर रे गंगा नदी कूल रे से विक्रमणीपुर रे सेठी बाहा मध्य होइथिले मंदर भांगु रानी की तांकर जे तांका संगे शेष पर्यंत जीवन थिले सेठू से किछि बुली पर आसिक नालंदा रे स्थायी भाव में रहिले और नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी अध्यापना कले से भितर से तिब्बत रजा डकरा पाई तिब्बत गले एंटायर तिब्बतान रिजन रे वज्रदान सांगे टिके तांकर तिब्बतीय वन धर्मर अंश मिसई लामा धर्म कहते ताकू प्रवर्तन करे एंटायर हिमालय अंचल रे से ताकू प्रतिष्ठा करके बहुत दिन रहिले से प्राय 50 वर्ष अधिका 746 से नालंदा जाइथिले तिब्बत 802 रे से सीधा गाँ को फेरी आसिले गाँ हूँ ओडिशा तेणु सी आसिक ये रहिले आपण उदयगिरी आठी महाप्राण है विषय रे जीवनी चरित्र जस्ट कही
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद थैंक यू डॉक्टर डॉक्टर परवीत गी अनि इच्छा चावा दे खुरांग गीता सुक्षेशे तुक्ता चेने अनि जिगे लोखे बेगितो ने दुजे मंगबुके ने गुरुमुची ठुंगयु दी उड़ीसा रंग रे सिंगी जिगता चावा जी खोयो रे अंति गीता खासा दुया लेया ता खोंगे नले इच्छा चिता खुरांग देव जी चामना यो रे ननी तेंबरे लो चुबदुंग गिरिंग लेया न्यासो चेने अनि इच्छा मंगबुची ले दुरुप चेने Padmasambhava ko le देव जी टम चे ननी मा तेंबरे ते तिने सुदा खोदु चेन तेरिंग हा मोरांग खुरांग दे सुमसो कांदा ठुंसे यु दी उड़ीसा यिम्बा चे अन ठुंसा उड़ीसा नालो ने तंगी शुभ नाशी जरसु गुडा से साजति चा देलेया अनि संबलपुर से थांदाया मिंगलेया संबलपुर सिगरे थी अनि शंबल की दसु यिम्बा ती जावल इंद्रबोधी शुयो बाते तिने इंद्रबोधी ती अनि दाना कोशा 세야디 네 아니 그룹이 녀베 땅아도 로주나 여번나 신기 단다 다나 코샤 세야기 다수르 차네 디가랑라야 밍라야 다나 콘다 생이 단다 사자 요레스 데네 땅 그룹이 녀 차네 아니 디기 구루니에서 율 코란 사자 딜레야네 padma purusen ming tangendi jabuino budi ta nang bares chene ta saja tewati tanda hirakut se kita chunzo chimbuji yobati nam ta tim chimbare inaya ta tanda tig nyenram gi tongpati mingle ya ta padma purusen tu ta yores ta kong kanda tenzo kola ta mangbo song tengi tanda shana ta shuya tu regi mindu ina mangche peche sen yore ti mena ya kong la teb yore teb di dan stina na paje chen ru re sambatindi du ani ta namazo ta ganzo de kyawang tarun sum kamena ya shu yore je dane duzo test chiu rigi du di na ya ni ya di keshin bore ani chame ji duzo nang jene ani ji test yago ji sen na tuna ganzo maung bole ya ngeba de pendo yung re sambachi ta ganzo de melam ji so de ba indi nyam du jabjong loju ji nyam du dugi ji ni shen ba ina shira pendo yung sa re samso so. Now, next one I want to call on Dr. Avinita Sabat. She will be speaking on exploring and establishing Odiyana Guru Padmasambhava's origin. Please.
Om Namo Buddhaya. Om Hum. Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hum. First, we express our gratitude to our Odisha state government, tourism and culture departments, as well as team LBDFI for organizing the second Guru Padmasambhava ceremony here in this sacred land of Udayagiri. We are privileged and honored to be a part of this wonderful event, and the huge congregation, thanks to all of you. So Guru Padmasambhava is known as Guru Rinpoche and also the second Buddha. In 2010, His Excellency Venerable Dalai Lama Ji had visited Odisha, and he inaugurated the Padmasambhava Mahavihara at Jiranga. So that is when he addressed many of the Mahabodhi Society of Bhubaneswar, and he stressed that how come when Guru Padmasambhava belongs to Odisha, no one is writing about him. You should be writing about him, you should be highlighting him. That's what Dalai Lama Ji said. And our author, Prabir Kumar Patnaik Ji, whom we just heard, he was also part of the audience. And from that day, 2010 till 2024, he researched. He devoted 14 years of his life, and he came up with this book, Udiyana Guru Padmasambhava, the second Buddha. And I'm very proud and privileged to share that after his book, there has been a lot of research and discussion and deliberation and also debate that where does Guru Padmasambhava really belong. So we know about Gautam Buddha, we know about Yunzang, we know about Fahin, we know about the people who came to India, even to Odisha, but Guru Padmasambhava is lesser known by many. So, which is why after Prabir Ji wrote the book, I felt it's my moral responsibility to share about it. Because even I have visited Sikkim, I went to many monasteries there. I went to the Namdoling Monastery Golden Temple in Coorg, Bailakuppe, there I went. And wherever I went, they asked me where I am from, the monks of the monasteries. And everywhere, when I said I am from Odisha, they pointed to Guru Padmasambhava's statue and said, he is also from Odisha. So they all knew that Guru Padmasambhava belongs to Odisha. But still, when we say Guru Padmasambhava and when we explore and try to establish his real place of birth and his place of Mahaparinirvana, then we are told that there is controversy, there is a debate. If you look on the net, on the internet, on online sites, you will find Swat Valley, Pakistan comes up as a search result. Where was Guru from? So, in order to change the perception, the wrong narrative which has been set, and it has been set for the last several years and no one had researched. Now that we have such a voluminous, comprehensive book thanks to Prabir Patnaik ji, then it becomes our duty to share about it, which we did, and we informed Professor Ravindra Pant, ex-Vice Chancellor, Nalanda University, and Professor Pant connected us with Dr. Wangmo Dixie and with Dr. Richard Dixie, and we spoke. We had online conference calls, we spoke on video calls, and then we spoke on phone calls, and so many messages, emails, everything was exchanged. Then we connected with our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, with our Culture Minister, and we are very happy they came here, and they were all very supportive. But till the end, like we worked on that, and then IBC, International Buddhist Confederation, they had the first Padmasambhava conference in Navanalanda Mahavihara of Nalanda University on August 27, 28, 2024. And we were privileged to attend that. And our Jigme Getul Rinpoche, His Excellency was also there, along with so many researchers from around the world. And we discussed about Guru Padmasambhava, and many were unaware of our diamond triangle. So we had proposed this diamond triangle Udayagiri for this reason, that this diamond triangle is a great heritage site of Odisha which should come into focus, and the ceremony should have Guru Padmasambhava as the name, because that is a local name of Guru, though most of the people know him as Guru Rinpoche. And we are happy that LBDFI accepted that, and now that's how we have the name. So as a cultural researcher and writer, I feel it's very strange that we have to claim about such an important ambassador of world peace and someone who established Vajrayana and Tantric Buddhism worldwide, because the name, even the Sambhala, the name is there, it's well documented. We still have Sambalpur. Sambalpur is a district of Odisha, and Guru Padmasambhava belonged to undivided Sambalpur, which is presently his place of birth is Jharsuguda, as you have seen in Shri Prabir Patnaik's presentation. But after that also people have doubts about that, like Dr. Frederick told in his presentation that we have Lankeshwari Devi, she is a goddess. Lankeshwari, Lanka Puri, that is a place again associated with Guru Padmasambhava. So Raja Indrabhuti, the King Indrabhuti, who was his father, he belonged to Sambhala, and his aunt was Lakminkara, who belonged to Lankapuri Sonpur, and these places still have the same name. In fact, right now I am wearing a Sambalpuri sari. You can see, this is a Sambalpuri sari. The same name continues even after so many ages. So the name, when we take the name Udyana, Udyana, Uddiyana, Uddiyana, Oddiyana, Odiyana, Odyn, all these multiple spellings are there, but they all point to Udyana. But when we write about it on social media, people counter us saying it is in Swat, Pakistan. But how can it be in Swat, Pakistan when so many Udyana, everything relates to Sri Jagannath Ji's place, which is Lord Jagannath, the God of the universe, and he belongs to Puri, is the sacred Dham, Jagannath Dham. So this belongs to Odisha, and it is an earlier name of Odisha, Odiana. Once we prove that Odiana is Odisha, which is there in the 7-line prayer also, in the northwest of Odiana, the 7-line prayer of Guru Padmasambhava belongs to, starts with that in the northwest of Odiana. Northwest of Odiana is Sambalpur, and it relates to Guru Padmasambhava. So we need to fix the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. They are all lying around scattered, and such events give us an opportunity to share and make everyone aware. So if people do not know, then it is our responsibility and duty to share, because we don't want any controversy or debate, and it is for literary as well as historical, archaeological and all evidences which are there in place, and they need to be shared. After such efforts, there have been discussions in multiple universities, including the Pali Department, University of Mumbai, in GM University, Sambalpur, in Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, even in the Asian Buddhist Summit, which Prabhiji and I got the chance to attend. So there we met many people and we discussed. And everyone says that we should have such conferences everywhere, so that we can discuss and write about it. Like the 5 trail places which you saw in the last presentation, namely one is a Sambhala, where he was born. Second is when he went to attain Siddhi, that is in Jajpur, Biraja Khetra, he got enlightenment. We know about Gautam Buddha's enlightenment as Bodh Gaya. We do not know Guru Padmasambhava attained enlightenment here in Jajpur district, in Biraja Khetra. Ma Biraja is a Shakti Peeth of Odisha, India, very famous and known for Tantric Buddhism, for Tantra. So thereafter he studied in Tantra in Ratnagiri, which is nearby. If you have not visited, please go and visit. It's another part of this diamond triangle. And then he went to all the Himalayan kingdoms and he spread the message over there. And then his last abode was Udaygiri. So here his remains are there as per the relic which is present. So this names, they need to be set in place. These names should be in the books. So how will people know? People have to read it. We don't read it in textbook, school, university books. These have to be present there. Then we need to put the username Guru Rinpoche, Guru Padmasambhava, who belongs to Odisha, which is earlier called Odiana. And Odiana is mentioned in many texts related to Sri Jagannath Ji, including Kalika Purana. All centuries old texts still have Odiana as the name of Odisha. So this we speak about Odia Asmita, which means the pride and identity. It is also the pride and identity of India, because now Pakistan is a different country and we need to get the GPS of Guru to India. And that will happen when everyone joins in together. Many even are not aware that Tapasu and Bhalika, the first 2 disciples of Guru Gautam Buddha, Gautam Buddha's first 2 disciples were from this area, from Jajpur district of Odisha, and they were merchant traders. They were going with 500 carts when they found the enlightened Buddha, and they offered him Arisa Pittha, which is rice cake along with honey. So there also people have doubts that they were really from Odisha or not, the first 2 disciples of Gautam Buddha. So these we need to share with everyone so that all will be aware. And we have requested our Culture Minister, Honorable Culture Minister Shekhawat ji of Government of India, as well as PM Modi ji and Murmu Madam President, that we should have more deliberations, discussions worldwide about Guru Padmasambhava, and they have been supporting. There has been a lot of support. Apart from that, we also want more publications, research, documentation, and translations, because much of the Odia text people do not understand, and there are other texts also, I am sure, in many countries which we are yet to read, and they are all in the local languages. So this has to be a worldwide effort. Everyone has to join in for this. Just like Modi ji says, our Honorable PM says, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. So everyone has to join in, put in efforts and share so that everyone will become aware. Because only when people are informed, they will become aware. Only when they become aware, they will take action. And we are very happy that such action and such platforms are given. And I would like to thank again LBDFI and our government of Odisha for this platform and allowing us and giving us an opportunity to interact, share, listen and write more about this, and we need more research. So, Om Namo Buddhaya, Om Ahum, Vajraguru, Padma Siddhi Hum.
Thank you, Dr. Anita. You have saved a lot of time for us. Would you like to speak 5 minutes in Oriya, please? Please, in 5 minutes, just condensed talk. Thank you.
Jai Jagannath, Om Namo Buddhaya. एठारे आमे उपस्थित होइचंती हमरो ओडिशा सरकार को अनुकूल्य रे एवं एलबीडीएफआई ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म हमको देचंती हमें गुरु पद्मसंभव विषय रे आलोचना करचंती आमे चाहूचु जे गुरुंक विषय रे बेसी रिसर्च हो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन हो माने लेखा जाओ तांको विषय पढ़ा जाओ आउ अन्य भाषा रे तांकर लेखा जाओ कहीं ना आमर सब देखो टिबेटन रे लेखा अछि ओडिया रे लेखा अछि सब विभिन्न भाषा रे लेखा अछि तो आमे सेटा जानी नाहंती तो आमे जतले आमर ओडिया भाषा रे या लेखा हेछि ओडिया भाषा रे ओडियान जोटा श्री जगन्नाथंकर सब बही रे लेखा अछि पुराण रे लेखा अछि ओडियान माने ओडिशा बोली लिखा जी आम जो सेटा कहूँ बाहर लोक मैंने कहते नाई ओडिया ना ओडिशा नाई सेटा स्वाट वाली पाकिस्तान अच्छी जहाँ हो प्रवीर कुमार पट्टनायक बाबू तांकर 14 वर्ष रिसर्च करिकी से बहीटा करचन जोटा देखेले जाको से बही दरकार अपन नहीं पारिबे सेठारे सेटा होची मोस्ट कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव बुक माने सेथरे सब जहाँ तथ्य तांको मिलिला सी 70टा देश बुलिकी सब बही आनिकी ता विषय लिखी से सब रेफरेन्सेस भी अच्छी आपण देखो यहाँ कहीं भी काटी पारे जो मैंने आगुरी बही लिखी से मैंने चली जाइए आहांती आमे तांको प्रश्न करें किंतु एबे जहाँ आम पाखे टाइम अच्छी आम या विषय लिखा समस्त को जनइबा आमे बहुत खुशी जे आमर आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री भी आमर प्रधानमंत्री भी एवं महामहिम राष्ट्रपति मैडम भी समस्ते आम कथा शुणिकी या बेसी गुरुत्व दौरान आम निश्चय बहुत धन्यवाद जनइबी प्रोफेसर रवींद्र पंत बाबू को जे कि XBC नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी रो आउ सी तांको अनुकूल्य रे आमर प्रथम फर्स्ट गुरु पद्मसंभव कॉन्फ्रेंस गोटे हैला नालंदा महाविहार रे जोड़ा 2024 मसीह रे हैला और से प्रोफेसर पंत ही आमको डॉक्टर वैंगमो डिक्सी और डॉक्टर रिचर्ड डिक्सी सहित कनेक्ट करेले LBDFI सहित आम कथा हेलु तापरे IBC भी आसिले आमे समस्ते को जोड़ी पारिलु एबे आमे समस्ते मिसिकी या पे काम करिबा गुरु पद्मसंभवर ना पे भी हमको झगड़ा करिया पड़ला केना भोजन कहले कि तमे खाली रिनपोचे रख नले तमे ना ही रखनी कहीं ना से कंट्रोवर्शियल तमे केम कहि परिबा से ओडिसा रो हमें कहि परिबो ओडिसा रो कहीं ना तांको बापा राजा इंद्रभूति संबलपुर जोटा संभल सेटा होचे संभल एबे भी संबलपुरी साड़ी अछि एबे भी समलेश्वरी देवी जोटा समलेश्वरी माँ समलेई सी अच्छी एबे भी लंकेश्वरी देवी अच्छी सबू से ना गुड़ा रे होची लक्ष्मी डुंगरी माने माउंटेन लक्ष्मी होचंती यांकर आंट पियूसी माने इंद्रभूति रो भौणी तो ये सब जो रिलेशन अच्छी जो बापा ओडिशार तमर आंट हूँ ओडिशार तमें केमती ओडिशार नुह तमें केमती बाहर हो तमें केमती पाकिस्तान हो पार गुरु होचंती ओडिशार ओडियान होची ओडिशा संबल होची संबलपुर आमको से मैप रे से जो GPS को कुआ हुए जोटा GPS अच्छी ग्लोबल पोजिशनिंग सिस्टम सेटा हम ए गुरु पोजिशनिंग सिस्टम गुरु पद्मसंभव स्मार्ट सैवी हवा को पड़वा आमको गुरु पद्मसंभव विषय प्रचार प्रसार करवा या आम समस्त दायित्व Om Ham Hum Vajaguru Padma Siddhi Om. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you so much. Ane tanda cham Anita Chogi Sonshe Dita Dot Duna Kanda Moraya Guru Rinpoche Ui Tungsa Dita Urisa Rang Re Se Chigtone Ane Nyeche Yungichi Da Tigani Duje Shangi Chang Dr. Parviter Koranzo Nyamdo Chagi Tumongi Tawa Chiko Imbare the Morang Dinala Gotsudu Karsonso Sebaina Ani Niton Chug Lolaya Manzu Yage Gomba Konje Cheraba Jiran Gombadi Gomba Sabati Tula Hanchimbadi Konje Chebe Kadu Konsachamushan Chibunaraba Gonje Nangelaya and Jamur Jagi Gonje Nang Trubne Ma Bubnishwala Febe Kadu Dilla Moranda and the Kawa and the Kon Parbiri Koran Yamdo Churchidu and the Kundu Ne Disonsons and Chanzo Guru Rinpoche Urisan Res Laguio Mareves. Did it Laguio Ina Guru Kola Depzani Miduas in the Kanasons? That Tiki Chain Chene and Dr. Prabi Kumakrangi and Lot Chushi Ringlayata, Konsachogi, Sung Dilea, Chanjo Chene, Koran Shushin Tape Chene, and Lot Chushi Ringla Guru Bichikolata, Duje the Chene. Tadu Neva Neva Gone and the tape in Nalata, Gurumuch Ursula Tumber race, Hajiki, the Tinaki, Tamboko, Sudan, Jumzet in the Chava race. That Ani Chidanta, Kanda Morangi, Sonshi Mangunalaya, Zawa, and then Gurumuchi, Tuyudi, Tanda County Shivanashi, Sambal Purseati, Nyama Shambala, Sen Shambala, Shugi Yubata, Di Gavula in the Buddhi Imbata, Did a Nyesa Layata. Guru Muchikutumbata, Dig Sajalaya, Padmapur says, Drink Kasaya, Ming the Karanto and Dugi Bata. Then in the Budigi, Chamsi, Lakshmi Karasaya, Tia, Nyasaki, Yabuchigi, Tumula Pevadilla, Lanka, say Lumbati, Sony Purse, the Taran Cha, the Vachik, Tindi Cha de Hores, that Tine March in any, and Ratna Giri Laya, and the Rana Greta Andudella. Sawasum Yodaban Rana Grilaya and then Guru Michigi, Chita, Tini, you take the corner, send some Nasa so Shukchadi, you Uleran, Nashadua, in a Yata, Sanga Gordi, and then Gude Yamshe Nayada, send some Nayada, Lawa the Tushuki Chebajan Nayada, so Peche Chebajan, Chiki send some Jude courses and Nasadi, Rana Grira, number race, and Uda Grita, another year, there's a Delayani, Guru Michia. Chigi lo mongbuchi delaya shu chine yang Quran to shesu chigla Guru ta pe ne chu pe ne tar ku nyangin desa dere se chi kon shesu chi an de yob re se chi ke de chi ten so ta morang dor duna ke je teran re to sheshu. So now I would like to call on our next speaker, Lama Tenzin Sampel. He will deliver his paper on Odiyana, Odisha, and Padmasambhava.
First of all, I would like to say namaskar to all of you. And I'm sure it's a little late now. You are tired, catching cold, so be careful. So I would like to say a few words according to my topic that I choose for this conference about Guru Rinpoche and about the relation with the Guru Rinpoche with Odiyana and Odisha, how it was related together in that sense. So, as we all hear from all the great speakers about the Odiyana and Odisha, and according to their way of making conclusion is more like Odisha, which is the Odiyana itself. So here, first I would like to talk about the Guru Rinpoche, how he appeared in this world. In some way, Guru Rinpoche considered that he was born as a magical born from the lotus. This is the one way of saying how Guru Rinpoche was come into this world. So in another way, for example, like a tradition of the Kama, in the Tibetan tradition of the Vajrayana, and especially in the Nyingmapa, the old school tradition, we talk about this true great way of explaining the origin of the Tantras and the transmission, that according to the Kama tradition, and also in the Kilaya Tantra and the treatise of Guru Rinpoche on the Kilaya Tantra, which we call as a Purva Bumna, the black Kilaya Tantra that is written by Guru Rinpoche in Nepal. In that way, according to the Kama, the oral tradition's way of saying the appearance of the Guru Rinpoche in this world, it says that Guru Rinpoche was born from the mother. The mother womb born. They don't consider Guru Rinpoche born as a miracle with the lotus and all. This is the one way of saying that how Guru Rinpoche was coming to this world. And then, according to the Terma tradition, such as a Kathang, and many of the revelation teachings, in their tradition, which is very well known, that Guru Rinpoche was born in the lotus. Neither he has a father or mother, he was born as a miracle. This is how we consider, mainly according to the tradition of Dharma in this way. And then also, in few of the sources, such as Dujam Rinpoche religious history, it is also said that Guru Rinpoche appeared in this world just descending from the sky and landing on the Mount Malaya, the meteoric mountain Malaya, which is situated in Sri Lanka. On that very mountain, it is said that Guru Rinpoche first appeared spontaneously, descending from the sky, and he appeared in that way. So there's a three-way, generally, there's a three-way of saying. In the same way, when we talk about the manifestation of Guru Rinpoche and all, it's a number we cannot count. How many different aspects of the Guru Rinpoche, not just only in our human world, but also in all the different 6 realms and everywhere. There's a lot of way how we consider Guru Rinpoche was come into this world. Because of that reason, so some of the speakers who say that Guru Rinpoche was attained the enlightenment in Viraja, in the Jajpur district, and also we found the Guru Rinpoche relic stupa just next to our few step way, where we can find the stupa of Guru Rinpoche and all. And also in the Tibetan tradition, when we talk according to the source of the Terma tradition and all, Though Shakyamuni has a 12 deeds, at the end he passed into the parinirvana. And Guru Rinpoche, we only consider 11 deeds compared to the Buddha Shakyamuni, because Guru Rinpoche attained the deathlessness stage. And there is no story according to that source. According to the Terma tradition, we have no any narration where it talk about the passing away or parinirvana of Guru Rinpoche and all. So because of that, there's a many different way of saying how the Guru Rinpoche come into this world, and either he exists in a different way of born and all. This is talking because of the different manifestation and all. So as Guru Rinpoche is the same enlightened being as a Buddha, he can appear in any place, any time, different form, different name and all. This can be possible also. This we must have some kind of openness in that. Now, first, what I'm talking here with the Guru Rinpoche himself. The existence of Guru Rinpoche related with this land. The first proof that we have is the statue of our Lokiteshvara, Padmapani, which is here in this spot in the Udaigiri. On the back of this statue, with the consecration mantra, that what we call in Tibetan as a 5 great mantra of consecration, Sungchen Denga. With that mantra, such as a Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava and all, then there is a mention of Guru Rinpoche name, Padmasambhava, on the back of the statue. This is something very, very important that can prove that Guru Rinpoche was being here through that statue. So, this is the first proof. And then the second proof is Ratnagiri Pandita Ban Ratna. The Ratnagiri Pandita Ban Ratna, in Tibetan we call Nak Jirinchen. He is the master of 13th century. And this Ratnagiri Pandita Van Ratna, when he was in Orissa, the Lord Jagannath, he spoke to Van Ratna, advised him to say, you must go to Tibet. If you go to Tibet, this will bring a great benefit by going to Tibet and teaching in the Tibetan. So, this is the first time where it mentioned that first Indian master from Orissa who come to Tibet in the 13th century. And according to the prophecy of the Jagannath, he come to Tibet 3 times. At that time, Tibet was ruling by the Rinpung. There's one king in the central Tibet called Rinpung. He was ruling the Tibet, central Tibet, and it is him who invited the Van Ratna in Tibet. So, this great master Van Ratna, when he comes second time to Tibet, then he went to Bhutan. This Van Ratna, he went to Bhutan. And when he come to the Taksang, the tiger nest, which is very known now, he come to the Taksang to visit the cave of the Taksang. And after he visited the cave, his attendant, they asked to him, "We know that this is the cave of Guru Rinpoche. Do you have any vision of Guru Rinpoche in this place?" They asked to Van Ratna. So, Van Ratna, he said, "Yes, I have a vision of Guru Rinpoche. It was one woman who guided me in one small cave. While I was entering into the small cave, suddenly this cave transformed into big hall. And then in the middle of this hall, there is a Guru Rinpoche with all the retinue doing Gana Chakra Puja." So the attendant say, "Do you see some other great master in that place, in that hall?" And Vandrana said, "I saw Guru Rinpoche several times in that place. And I stay with him. And I enjoy the talk with them, celebrating the talk and enjoying the talk with them." This is what Van Ratna of the 13th century Ratnagiri Pandita who came to Tibet and who talk about the existence of Guru Rinpoche and vision of Guru Rinpoche. And now, again, Indian master Buddha Gupta. There's a few Buddha Gupta according to the history. But this Buddha Gupta is belong to the Buddhist yogi tradition. And also he is doing some of the nut cult of nut. So this Buddha Gupta, he was 17th century master. He is also the master of Taranatha. Taranatha is one of the very great learned Tibetan master of the 17th century. He is also the master of the Taranatha himself. And in his biography of Buddha Gupta, he is saying that he went to all the pilgrimage places. And one time when he was going from Karnataka to Bangala, on the way when he was traveling, when he come to Jagannath Puri, and while he was traveling, all of a sudden when he come to the Jagannath Puri, he was looking in the sky and he was laughing and he was talking and he is doing many jests. And some of his attendants, they ask, "What is happening? What is there?" He don't want to talk. And they insist to say, "Please tell us what you are doing, what you seeing." And then this Buddha Gupta, he said, "I saw in the sky, I'm talking with Padmasambhava, and I'm talking with Luipada. Luipada and Padmasambhava both, in some case, both are from Odisha. And this master from South India, Buddha Gupta, while he was going from Odisha, and it's very clear the way he say from Karnataka, he go through Puri Jagannath, and then he go to Jharkhand, and then he come to the Bangala and all. So while he was traveling from Odisha, he saw these two masters, Guru Padmasambhava and Luipada. And this both master is origin from Odisha himself. So it shows that how the Guru Rinpoche, according to the Indian master, in their own biography, how it was explained, the meeting of the Guru Rinpoche and all. I think it was something very important to know, all of us, about this thing. So in the same way, here when we talk about the Guru Rinpoche, that he was, Odisha, he was from Odisha and all. Then we understood, like just before, all the speaker talk very detailed about the Sambalpur, which is the kingdom of Indrabhuti. And in that very place, the river Sindhu is considered as a Mahanadi. The reason why Mahanadi is river Sindhu is that many of the travelers, since from the 7th century of the Chinese traveler Hunsang, in their record, they talk about the Sambalpur, which is the, the mine of diamond. And in that very place, what we say, the Hirakut, Padmapur, Padmasini, and all this related with the Guru Rinpoche and his birthplace in Orissa in that sense. After the Chinese traveler who talked about the diamond mine in Orissa, John Baptiste, a tavernier of the 7th century, the French guy who came here and talked about the diamond mine, and also Mustafa of the 18th century, and then Lord Cliff of the 19th century, and also Edwin Strait. He talked about finding the diamond which is very known as Taj-e-Ma, the diamond Taj-e-Ma which they found in the Mahanadi. So this all shows that, in fact, in Tibetan, our idea, when we talk about the Norbu, we think it's just like some kind of a stone with the flame. And this stone, if you make a prayer or wish, then this stone will give you this wish. This is what we call as a Norbu in a sense. But in fact, it is diamond itself, not just a stone with the flame, or Tibetan in a case. The reason why we say that, even like us, the nomad who live with the cattle, in Tibetan words, the cattle, name of the cattle is called Nor. Nor means Norbu, because their source of livestock is depend on the cattle. In the same way, for the farmer, their grain harvest, it is their Nor. Because of that, like as a Vasundhara, which is the deity of the riches and the wealth, she is holding the rice stalk in her hand. So in that sense, what we have to understand here is that really this very notion of Norbu is not the idea what we have in Tibetan mind, but more it is related with the diamond itself. And it was recorded from the many centuries that it was very known in the Sambalpur area where they found and all. And also in the Padmasambhava book of Mr. Praveen Kumar Patnaik, he said clearly, Jatumati, where Tibetan we call Danakosha, the Oriya they call Danakuda. Same name, still it exists in this region. Still it exists. So it is very, very possible, just like a Guru Rinpoche has a different born, and it could be possible that there's a different version of his birth, of his activity, of his different event of the life and everything in that case. So this is first thing that I would like to just present you about the Guru Rinpoche, how we have to understand in a different way, not just in a one way. No.
Yes, please, please. Yeah. Porque todo lo dicho son los. No, che tera solo no. No, che tera na thagre tadi. Las. Oshi.
Tanga tanda shue de la ngegi keja shia gi zo gi tensen rabudi Guru Rinpoche ta ani Urisa ta Udiyana gi Devakor diko ji shego samsonga tangbu ngegi sambala nge tare di kapsu keja shia di puri Jagannath di pe masiveta jagar khan so Hindu gi lusela shida gi kechimbu da chachimbu chi Urisa siddhi kapsu puri gomba dila tena tini Urisa ge mingdi dinde hakoto dinde pemasi kera chimbe di kordi nganaso pebegi karsurta logi na namthar da dina la kande du dinde jitani nge tambu diji thibo samne chi charshi da shayi ani jela ngala wamu disilagi taringi dila inchi minji Guru Rinpoche rangi kola shena yabu duse dinde sumne tini yange di keja shia di pa Dönsen de pa gyurne dini Guru Rinpoche da Urisa da Udiyana ko shechemba ta tindi nge tanda shuya di karinsna tangbo dila nganzo Udiyana ge ngena Guru Rinpoche rangla kongi ta zebala samu tangwaina ta Guru Rinpoche di ngalje yimba zuge yimba yang togbab su pepasene dinde sumge gane pa logyu na ta du ko sindeje thongudwa ta zuge de yongda dabure 상마기다 구르부지 주니 깨버레 메도 페마를 깨버려서 다티 용다다 오르티 주게기 더 당스나 따수스나 디 소 딩안스 테르마게 룩치 딘데 테르메기 룩 따디가스니 주게기디 망보지 마태용도 다 디랑 찰라 날게기 거디 망체와디 까메나니 되기도 쪼디디니 불베기 쳐거다 구르부지기 단다 간초 양리 슈르 슈베 kapsu tini tada kalta purba bumnas ni ta ru Padmasambhava ru bimamitra ru parbo shilas pendita sum nyamde done ta chidang Guru Rinpoche di kapsu 양리 shu ki pendita asine te Guru Rinpoche pendita ki chen thoya de tinde jisine ani di kapsu pendita sum nyamde zomdu kapsu tini de purba bumnas chikti pura bumna degi nangla tang indi kasini Guru Rinpoche de ngalje yimba ta ta chungsa di chidang ugyeng yuri yimba de yap tang yum tang tinde ki chen de chasang yobaje tini degengi tini Guru Rinpoche sende chine ta dinde chungsa dinde chungsa changma shisha ko shi te ta zo terma tang tini ngana so chis gore ta de terma mare kama tang ani purbegi chogorangla 때리든 발칼 목부기 나라 딘지 등교 사람 나디 제 마송 어 딘지 인사를 해서 다디 저거디 날지던 주기지 딘이 대단 차라 딘이 Guru Rinpoche 다 베나 갑지 딘좀 rinpoche 닝미 춘중나 서고나네 셰츠 찍라 Guru Rinpoche 딘이 리오 말라야기 째라 톡밥 즈페바레스 마 남카니 마 밥이 영화 나신신의 페바나시 딘데지 숨기도와 딘데 갑스다 Guru Rinpoche 디 상계기 주바인데 코 지양 뒤찍라양 가와가서 간주 뒤찍라양 사샤 망부찍라 아니 남바 드라메라 망부찍간에 중시와 있는 갑스 단다 콩나바 케바 가식 순데 가서 Guru Rinpoche 상계사디 단다 위라자생야 사차 단다 자스푸르기 나데당라 요 사차 데라 레숭에 디니양 단다 데라 간조 최대인지도 네 최대인들 Guru Rinpoche 구둥기 최대레스네 딘데 콩나바 랍데지 도앙에스나 딘도 상만 Guru Rinpoche다 알게던 주게던 딘데기 저 왕부이데 딘데 인데가 딘데 강흥식 인식이래 딘데 딜라케 개와 민두스 dinde ji shue chung sung dinde tidan chala ta guru rinpoche di ngone ngaran su pebegi kama tang teme nani mangu tingke de gyagar rangi keba tsoki dinde guru rinpoche kor sung shawa duwe nga dinde ya ma dinde tos deba yin ti tatu kapsu ta ke cheshe di tanda di ngaran su udayi giri di yaas dele pesuna cherensi ki ku sani ya kangba ma sala nup deja ya sheng deja chumbu jidwa o digi kujab dela sinanda ini dela nganso turab geba guru rinpoche ki turab rangi kapsu buddha Gupta inscriptions ne dinde yigi ningbagi tishawa guru rinpoche turab kapgi tishawa yigi ningbagi nangla dinde zo di ngela garjongusna nganso sungchen denga 되고도 sungchen denga 당 냠도 dinde ti yoga yola guru rinpoche ki tsenda dinde 상마 Padmasambhava pe sebu seja 되는구도 dinde 가서 따디 nganso guru rinpoche ki dubje ngoma chikdi di chagi도 di himbata mai ba ani guru rinpoche di Orissa 당 학파도 우다이기리 사자 딘조다 드와 침부 여바치 디네 누구도 sama 디 당북이 루제 다우디 딘데지 말한게 셰도라고 중소 디네 디단 차라 이바딜라 디네 벤데다 나기린센스 다 벤데다 나기린센디 드랍 죽숨 값들에도 드랍 죽숨 값 다 벤데다 나기린센 콩 지당 날렌다게 벤데데 제 디네 드랍 중이 값은 날렌달라 디네 가시기 데 도식 신부 땅이 가서 되니 콩 넘버 상마 되네 되니 오리사 땅 되니 다라 가르서 그렇다 오리사기 쪽땅 야갈 로쪽이 쪽 망부질라 파 되니 파 되니 슈나도 디 슈디 값서 단다 반라트나 펜데다 나기린진 세디 콩 단다 라트나 기리스네 나한테 단다 양 기리숨 여버나니 찍데 라트나 기리도 라트나 기리기 펜데다 나기린진세 콩으로도 다 콩기 남타르낭라 따 윤디값수 되니 콩 되니 단다디 뿌리기 자가나스게 사디기 콩라 룽덴치네 다 계랑 별로 패고 예스 별로 패스나 아니 계랑라 두데 다 스템제 망부치라 팬 토기도 큐 별로 패고도 아니 개부치라 때네 벽이 개부치라 때네 계랑게 스템제 망불라 팬 토기도 별로 패고 예스니 근데 뿌리기 라 자가나스게 디게 룽덴 나네 디네 콩 별라 패도와 별라 패베 값수 림붕 다 사케체 림붕세여와 오 림붕기 다 지고르 죽숨라 왕외 값디 값수 아니 림붕기 다디 가르쳐 다 덴덴 슈네 라트나 반 펜디다 나기린체 별라 패 디네 별라 숨패도 테마 니와 디 펩디 값수 디네 콩기 땅아 데 두기 룽발라 Tini ngajo patro taksang la patro la phegi yinsung tini khong patro la phene patro la phebne tini khong dindesia dangbo thakpo chine ya ju yinsung do thakpo tis kusu thokpo ro dus o tini ya ju yins tini ya judi kapsu nanga leba dang lamsang thakpo di ne gyurne pe masi shaye khang na shi pe chimbu ji cha sung chokang chimbu chasta chokang chimbu digi nangla chikta indi kapsu kirdela guru rinpoche tini khorla tini pe masi be 파오당 카르데 망보지 콩 넘버 상마 초코르 숭야기 도 슈두스 디네 콩양 델라 페네 델라 슈네 초코르 난데 제인스 어다디 콩기 로마딘 저기 콩기 로마디 콩 파르르 페디 가서 콩기 로마 냠디 여바 된저기 콩라 간디슈네 데 파르디 구르르부지기 네레 시기도 케라 구르르부지기 싱나나데 개 중송에서 가서니 콘제 텐데 지원티니 단다 펜디다 나기린진 콩기 나 구름부지 제송 초콜 남기도 초콜 데인스 딘데 숭소 되니 야 딘데 있나더니 구름부지 마인베기 아니 라마당 줍줍 짜친부들이 신다게 빠르기 잡고난 제송에 숨디 가서 딘데 콩기 구름부지 대망부 제송 초콜라 데바이 뺨마시베 진압 친부당 까바상부 시다 중송 딘데 숭도 딘데 가서 다 되게 가르땡이 됐으나 지스 거라고 되니 야가르기 펜디타랑 디양 오리사기 펜디타 임바 콩라 되니 구름부친기 아니 가르스부터 시나인데 빠돌라 시나 중에 디 거지래도 다 대다 냠도 양 단다
스카마틱 뜻이 카마틱
상계 공부스 단다 부다 굽다 시도 상계 베바 스타디 야가르기 the Pandita Jiredu, Trutop Jiredu. Kong Turap Chudungi Kabrisha, Kong Yang, Ani Negola Done, Nando Karnataka, the Pa Bangala la Pedicas, Lamgani, the two Yundicapsu, Purila left Dokong. Purila Pedicapsu Dini, Kong Namla Signe, Gemun in the shore, Lakbag in the Lakta in the Banguchi, the Chios or Kong. This is the Kong Lama, Lama Ki, Kanjiman, Kijashi, the Banguchi, Ki Kari Jidu, Ki Kari Nangi used in the city. Didn't Kongi, not Namkala, Guru Buche, Dantini, Dupto Luipa, Duto Luipa, and Guru Buche in Namkala, Jesunta, Kongnama, Tini, the Luipa Tang, Guru Buche Nika, Urisa Rangala Jeva di. Karitinga is na Kongnika Urisatan Java Yabatan, Urisatan Dini, the Pemasive, Karsumasa, Java Chibu Yabajitangu do some with that. Negi Tapshu with a Karisha is na the last conclusion, what I would like to say is when we talk about the Odiana as a land of Guru Rinpoche, according to the Tibetan way, when we say the Madhya Desh, the central India, what we call as a noble land of India, we consider this central India geographically and spiritually. So in the same way, when we talk about the Odiana land, we cannot say Odisha is Odiana, not other. We can't say, because many of the travelers who went there, if we look at their record, the way they went, they say Jalandhar, they say Taxila, they say Peshawar, they say Kashgar, all is record. We cannot ignore to say, no, this is not true. We cannot say this is not in the dream. We cannot say this is in the vision. They give very detailed way how they went into the land of, which is the Swat Valley. So in this case, in my case, through my approach, what I understood is geographically, Swat Valley could be a Odiana. According to the traveler record from Indian master, from the Tibetan master and all. And then this Orissa place, we can consider Odiana place spiritually. Spiritually, the region of the Orissa is Odiana in that case. Because we have all this artifact, all this divinity, everything shows that all this deity that is finding is none other than the deity of the Odiana. All the Odiana deities, such as Marichi, Kurukule, Vajra Yogini, Vajra Barahi, all this very particular related with the Odiana is all found in this land only in this case. So this is what I can say, that we must consider both. Like a Guru Rinpoche has a miracle born and a worm born, in the same way, we have to consider geographically and spiritually as a Odiana land, Odisha in this case. And thank you very much for everybody. And thank you to have this occasion to Mrs. Wangmo Dixie and Richard Dixie. And also, I would like to say thank you for Lama Sonam Tashi this time, who organized and tried to make this, how do you call, the celebration of the Guru Rinpoche talk and all. And thank you for everybody, and thank you. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much for your extensive and intensive work on the Guru Rinpoche's birthplace. So also he has already spoken in Tibetan, I don't need to translate. Our last, now good news, the last speaker. The objection is that Tamadi, Tringonda Tamadi, and Dijela Lamsa Shila Yoda. Oh, Shila is Google is that. And Dijela Rikshung Tabden Joresa. Rikshung Tabden, the Kalanisu Ketching Sierra also. She said, and the Chunata Rikshung Tabden Taki Shila trying in the Yabudua, Tio Marta. Okay, so we are coming back to our last speaker for this evening, Rahul Ravi Rao, who will deliver on revival of India's best kept secret, Buddhist cultural sites of Udayana. Please.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Om Mani Padme Hum. Respected monks, delegates and the audience, I'm happy to be here to present my research paper on the topic of revival of India's best kept secret Buddhist cultural sites of Udayana, a study. So the introduction is in Pali literature and Buddhist literature. We come across ancient names of today's Odisha such as Utkala, Kalinga, Tosali, Odvisa, Udayana or Udayana. Udayana is a historical and cultural Buddhist site where we come across all the three prominent Buddhist schools and trace the evidence through archaeological findings as to how it transformed from Theravada to Mahayana to Vajrayana and developed on a larger scale in the eastern coastal area. The teaching of Buddha, which resembles and promotes education and culture across the region, were taken forward by bhikkhus and bhikkhunis as missionaries so that they reach people outside of Majjhima Desa. Thus, we see abundant Buddhist sites that thrive across present-day Odisha as we directly get references of two merchants, Tapassu and Ballika, resident of this ancient location, who travel with huge caravans to spread the business by earning in exchange of grains. Therefore, the teachings of has reached this land. Later, the transformation of the teaching was embedded by none other than Emperor Ashoka himself at the Kalinga, which is now today part of Odisha. This region is a blend of all religions. Therefore, we see huge development of Vajrayana schools and their subsects imparting the education and bringing out a new culture that was born in the land of Odisha. To develop these teachings as the education and culture, we need to speak at the history by understanding the need to build huge stupa, chaitya or chaityagraha, vihara and the sculptures. This is the cradle of the best kept secret which was never known by anyone else. It was only with the development of Vajrayana, which was led on larger scale by Guru Padmasambhava, that a direct connection we can see through images and abundant iconography of sculptures directly reflecting the teachings of Buddha was established. And next. So as you see the location of three sites are Ratnagiri. Already the latitude, longitude is given here. It is called the Hail of Jewel. And the important aspect is the condylite formation of the Asya range abruptly rising in the midst of wide expanse of alluvial plain. Then we have the Udayagiri, also the latter long is mentioned here, is located, as you know, in Bhubaneswar, and its thriving presence from 1st century BCE to the 11th and 12th century Common Era. Chronologically, the Buddhist establishment at Udayagiri is the youngest among three Buddhist sites. Then we have Lalitgiri, otherwise known as Naltagiri. It's one of the three major excavated sites in the Asya hill range of Odisha, and it's located in the Mahaganga Tehsil of the Cuttack region. Next. So we also see the archaeological excavation done on a larger scale here. The archaeological remains of Buddhism have been reported from since 1906 in the Bengal district gazetters by none other than Manmohan Chakravarti, who later recognized the tantric character of some of the Buddhist image and felt for the first time the potential of the remains buried under the earth here itself. So this shows that how much effort has been taken around to see which was lost by the history for a longer time. So then again 1928, H.C. Chakladar and Nirmal Kumar Bose explored the three hills such as Lalitgiri, Ratnagiri and Udayagiri. Because of their abundant contribution, today we can see the thriving culture back at the original span of time. Then R.D. Banerjee a prominent scholar, noticed Ratnagiri and mentioned in his general survey of plastic art, which was used a different technique for sculptures here, of Odisha, that the stupa which Yuan Sang saw, the northeast of the stone stupa of Pucp Koi, is maybe has reference as Pushpagiri, but was located at Ratnagiri, which is still a debate for discussion as per the archaeological findings. Next. So then we come across the prominent one. The first one is Ratnagiri, which we today also had been to this place. So two impressive monasteries lying by side, as we know, separating by an alley and facing the main stupa on the hillock, were exposed during excavation, locally known as Rani Pokhuri. Or Pokhuri we also say has Pokhuri we also say has a pond in Pali, Pokharna. So were exposed during the excavation. Then we have monastery number 1, the largest of the 3 of Ratnagiri, as an imposing structure. Then the outer face of the monastery wall is veneered with blocks of polished condylite, one of the famous condylite stone we come across here, which gives an impression of a fortress of tantric Vajrayana, of yogic historic practices, which is still abundant here when through the aspect of archaeological evidence. So evidence of the erotic imagery depicting both Mithuna couples and Methun, scene which is unusual for a monastic order and straits in this historical land site here. Then relieve the decorative niches and Buddhist divinities with impressive aspect of Vajrapani and Padmapani. Next. So what draws the attention here of the visitors at Ratnagiri is an exquisitely carved chlorite door frame, which is marvelous piece of architecture. The carving of Gajalakshmi, which also come across here, which is considered auspicious on the lintel, well-decorated band of creepers. So when you see the creeper has wonderful information about the life and style of the Odeon style, local style, where you can see the creepers, the male and female, they have their jolly lives, spending the daily life can be seen on the creeper panel here. The door frames lead visitors into an antarala and vestibule where the brick walls has seated chlorite image of Hariti, a popular deity in Buddhism, and a condylite image of Panchika in niches respectively. The monastery has if you come across, if you see this, has 24 cells on 60 condylite pillars on the veranda in the front of the cells. And also there is a monastery number 2. There are 18 cells in the monastery at all now vacant, except the shrine, the cell near the one that enshrines a figure of the Buddha descending from the Tautinsa heaven, which is mostly on the auspicious day of Abhidhamma Divas, unlike the seated Bhumispashra Mudra in the monastery number 1. So recent excavation which has been come across in the past 6 months extensively happening in Ratnagiri, where they have come across 2 monolithic stone Buddha head, which is very precise and pristine, which has not been damaged. It's one of the successful archaeological expedition of Odisha archaeology and state government, and protecting those ancient Buddha head, and more Buddha head needs to be excavated on this site without any crack on the nose. Is a masterpiece finding in today's archaeology. If you come across in the Ratnagiri Museum, you might be seeing the Buddha head, or might be seeing in Udayagiri also, but the one which is still in Ratnagiri, which will give a glance to the world of the complete intact Buddhist art of Odisha itself. Next. So what is the observation of this Ratnagiri? I want to add it here. So we said, taking into account the style of the image of Buddha and other Buddhist divinities, the sculptures of Ratnagiri can be grouped into 2 phases. In the early phase, dating to the 8th to 9th century, dominated especially by the Mahayana pattern, and the later phase, dating to 10th to 11th century, as represented images of the Vajrayana school of art. Beside the image of Buddha depicted in various mudras, there are a host of limestone images of Avalokiteshvara, Hariti, Heruka, Jambala, Marichi, Sambara, Arya Saraswati, Maitreya, Vajrapani, Vajrasattva, Vajradharma, Vasundhara, Yamantaka, and Ashtabhay Tara itself. Because when you say Ashtamay, we have come across Ashtamay Bhay, the perils, who save the merchants or the travelers. So this shows the Tara influence was very much in Odisha, and this also connects the Tara directly in the place of Maharashtra at Kaneri caves, where we also find Tara along with the Avalokiteshvara, who tried to protect the merchants. So this shows how much influence this the Buddhist school of art of Odisha had from the people and the merchant or travelers coming to Odisha. So Ratnagiri also yielded several bronze images. It's not only the rock stone, but also the bronze images made in the lost wax technique called Saira Pidu method has been displayed in numerous museums across the region. Then a great deal of sculptural art from Ratnagiri found in the overwhelming number of 700 monolithic stupa or votive stupa, and more about to be excavated, because wherever we walk on the Ratnagiri site or nearby location, we still find the coming out of the votive stupa. So this shows how much kind of reverence by the merchant or traders or pilgrims coming to this land of Ratnagiri. That is our diamond triangle. Next. So I'll just go to the pictorial you might have already seen, but this is also gives the touching life of the diamond triangle. Next. 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 It's wonderful smiling Buddha, two bothly clapped. So this shows that what kind of art as Odisha has produced, especially from the region of Odiana. Next. Next. No, downstairs. Next. Next. Go behind, go behind. I think so. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Ratnagiri. So now